Kneel Before Blog presents Kneel Before Pod.
Hello, and welcome to the 200th podcast spectacular from all of us here at Kneel Before Pod. I'm your host, Craig, and I'm going to be bringing you a great show tonight where we will do some things such as play some games, throw fictional characters out of airlocks, and much, much more. But first, I'm going to introduce the finest podcasters this side of the universe. So first up, we have the man pressing all the buttons that brings us all of what you're seeing today. And he is pretty sure the squirrels are out to get him. They are going to get him. But he looks forward to seeing how it all progresses. Hi, Chris. Welcome on board.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome on.
Hello. I'll get my own place. There we go.
Next up, we have someone who would brave the apocalypse to protect his ice cream maker, and he valiantly tried to make sense of Alien versus Predator Requiem. We salute you. He likes to edit. It's Angus.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to our fans around the world.
Up next, she still thinks there's any chance of there being a Bollywood episode. There isn't. It's Natalie.
There will be. Oh my God, you just wait. There will be. We'll make it happen. I'm going to find a way. Hi.
See, she still thinks it. And next, we have the other card-carrying member of the Why Do We Still Watch the Flash support group, Andrew.
Please just end. I want to move on and I can't take much more of this.
Come on, Andrew, the live show's only just started like less than a minute ago.
You sound just like the audience. Up next, he is a walking paradox, a man who loves dance numbers but hates musicals. How is such a thing possible? Maybe we'll discuss it. Hi, Aaron.
Hello. I would do a dance, but I don't think I can. What a shame.
Chair dancing.
What?
Round of
It's
applause.
not the same.
Up next, all you have to do to convince him to pay attention to something is tell him there will be a lightsaber. It's Isaac.
Hello.
And last but by no means least, yeah, they were. They just didn't get the joke. Last but by no means least, I'm pretty sure we'd be drift compatible, but even if we're not, there's one thing I'm convinced of, that she is definitely analog. It's Kat.
Thank you. I was hoping, thank you so much. I was hoping that my intro was going to be Pacific Rim themed, and you have not disappointed. Thank you so much. I think we are drift compatible. I would pilot a mecha with you.
That's good. No one can spend 4 hours talking about Pacific Rim without being drift compatible.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of like next level, for sure.
So that's it. That's the team. We are here to entertain you for the next, I don't know, however long it takes. We've got, as I said, we've got a great show for you tonight, and we're going to go into our first segment where we're just going to talk and reminisce and discuss our memories of the last 100 episodes, because this is 200 episodes. Eagle-eyed listeners and fans will know that on your podcast feed, there's way more than 200 episodes. That is because interviews don't count, and when we were approaching 100 episodes and I wasn't ready yet, I kept coming up with reasons why we hadn't done 100 episodes, such as cutting the interviews and combining episodes into part 1 and part 2. It's all about taming your milestones, making them up as you go along. So here we are at what I consider 200. It's just an excuse for a Twitch stream and a celebration, so that's why we're here. So yes, memories from the last 100 episodes. Does anyone remember anything from the last 100 episodes that they might have liked? Who would like to go first?
I'd just like to comment and say that we've just spent the last few episodes going heavily into technically accurate, and I feel like you've just stepped all over it. And we're just making it up now.
Yeah, it's like our time travel. We just don't know where we are or when we are.
True.
Yeah, I definitely don't know when I am right now.
I'd also like to say I'm nowhere near as well dressed as Kat for this, and I feel ashamed. I feel like you've come in from the
it's
Hollywood.
Just a plain black top. The secret is you wear black and it always looks nice. Like it's just a plain, super plain. There's nothing, no frills. Maybe my hair did take a little bit of effort, I will say, and it was an adventure. and a total accident. For the listeners who will be listening to this after the live stream like is over, just picture lilac, but two-toned, because I don't know how to bleach. Everything's a struggle. Everything is a struggle, but it's okay.
It looks intentional and it looks delicious.
Absolutely,
So,
totally meant to do this. Did not.
Can we
You
just
just missed
can
her
we
beauty
compare
stream.
backdrops as well? Sorry, just compare. But see your frantic backdrop compared to what's in the back of my
A
screen. There we
laundry
go.
basket. Yeah, I mean, listen, you guys are my backdrop. I've got
That
the
is a pretty
canvas print.
fetching picture you've got back there.
I've got a canvas print that Craig got us at his housewarming when I was last in Edinburgh, and I had the perfect place for it, so it had to be there. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice it's slightly askew. I don't know how to put things on the wall like on the same. So listen, it's fine. It looks great. We look great.
Credit to @Marcy_Starfleet on Twitter for the artwork. I commissioned her to do it. She did an amazing job. If she's watching or listening, thank you very much. It was great of you.
and I feel like we should have had ours set up back there too. And
It's
then
fine.
we would have looked cool also.
I was just too busy blurring my backdrop so no one can see all the boxes.
We all live in an Amazon jungle. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm coming to you from a spare room that I haven't finished unpacking yet. So I just kind of tried to move as much as I could out of shot as possible. I think I succeeded.
Well, yes. Well, I'm coming to you from a box room that looks like it is full of unpacked things, but it's in fact because I'm just a gigantic slob.
Not that they're
Is it just your
collectibles.
organized chaos?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, yes. Well, that's what I say to people, but nobody believes me.
In the first Spider-Man film, Norman Osborn says about Peter Parker, bit of a slob, isn't he? And Aunt May says, all brilliant men are. That is something I live by and have
Yes.
lived by ever since I saw that film.
What about before that film?
I had no excuse. But now I do. Ever since 2002, I've had that excuse. So it's great. Thank you, Sam
Wait.
Raimi.
2002. Was that the first one? 2002.
That
That's when
was.
it came out. Yeah.
It's making me feel old.
I know all the movies that have had their 20th anniversaries this year and last year, not allowed. Absolutely not allowed.
No,
Shrek
it's-
is 20 years old. Stop it.
That
They
is
only came out last month.
incorrect.
Yeah. They came out last year, didn't they? Those
Yeah.
ones that are 20 years old somehow. Yeah.
Cannot
Okay.
compute.
Yeah. So last 100 episodes. Any abiding memories that anyone has? Let's pick on Aaron. You're normally prepared.
I'm gonna have to pick you being He-Man.
Okay. Well, you may get a listen to that at some point in the near
When did
future.
that happen?
So Angus and I were ported directly into that particular cast just to witness that moment, and there was talks about people undressing and everything. It was a moment.
Where was I? Why was I not like witness to this?
No, you couldn't have
fitness?
seen it. It was too rude.
It was
No.
one of the steamiest moments on Meal Before Pod. If there has been a steamier one, I'd be surprised.
Damn it! Can't believe I missed it.
Challenge accepted.
Well, that takes care of what are we planning to accomplish in the next 100 episodes.
Hmm.
Okay, Kat, do you have any memories from the last 100 episodes that you would like to share with the class?
A few, I would say. So one of my favorite things that we have started since the last kind of milestone, the 100th episode, is the monthly news episodes that I've really enjoyed listening to and also being a part of when I'm on them. I think it's just a fun time to just kind of look back at the announcements and the news and the stuff and just kind of nerd out about things, but like all in one place. Because like there's just so much happening all the time, and like it's just nice to like have like here's the episode of like everything that we're possibly excited about. Those have been quite fun. In terms of memories, I mean, I remember just being like the marathon recording sessions for like a bunch of the Marvel things that were quite fun, but then it was like, oh my god, how are we going to get this down to like a listenable length? But yeah.
Then we just don't bother. We just release it in its entirety, and then people
No,
get
we
along
don't.
with it.
I think we do a good job. I think you do a good job of editing. And I know I picked one of my favorite memories that you may or may not play for us later, is me enlightening you all with the Shakespeare Star Wars books and the
Oh.
super deep Jar Jar Binks monologue that I read for you. I still stand by it. I think that's my favorite interpretation of Jar Jar Binks, and in fact, it makes The Phantom Menace watchable. Just thinking about him as like this scheming Iago-like figure who has an ulterior agenda.
Yeah, when we
Actually,
launch
yeah, that
Patreon,
whole
we're going to
episode
make
was
Kat
fun.
read the whole thing just for Patreon.
But yeah, that whole episode was really fun to do, I think. Yeah, just
That
enjoyed.
was in the last 100 episodes.
That
Yes.
wasn't the last 100. It's been so. I think here's the thing. Like the last milestone that we did was, I want to say, an easy 3 years. Since the 100th episode that we did, because that was 2 hair colors ago. This is how I measure time. I've had blue, and this was when I had pink hair still. It's where that picture comes from. So yeah, that's how I measured time. So it was a while ago.
For me, it was 3 flats ago. That's how I
Yeah,
measure
gosh.
time.
Yeah, I think it was about 4 years ish.
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so not bad going. 100 episodes technically in 4 years. 100 technically. More than 100 episodes in 4 years technically.
How many is it? Like, how many are you actually, if you include absolutely everything?
I
Or what
knew
you
someone was going to ask that, and that's why I didn't prepare it. So let me just find out.
I thought that was a carefully guarded secret. You'd never give out a true number.
No. So on the podcast feed, there's 248 episodes, which as we record, there's 2 more left to publish. The Spider-Man one and Spider-Man No Way Home, and the news roundup for January, which is still being edited as we record. As you listen to this, when this audio is released, it will hopefully have been released. But yes, so that'll be it. So it'll be 251, this one, I suppose, according to your podcast feed.
That's many.
Yeah, it's quite incredible.
That's halfway to
Pretty
300
impressive,
already.
actually.
We're halfway to 300 already. Yeah. No, we're not.
If we start counting interviews now, maybe.
No, let's not. We have our format and we're sticking to it.
And how many have you been absent for? What, 2, 3?
Yeah, something like that. It's not many. I haven't missed many. There was
I
an
don't know how you do
Expanse one and a Mandalorian one, or maybe a couple of Expanse ones in the last 100.
I think we did do 2.
We've done 2 Expanse ones.
Yeah.
We've got a third one that I need to plan, but I'm very bad at organizational skill.
We'll do it soon.
So,
Oh,
so,
man, I
while,
have so
while,
many
while we're
thoughts I'm
here,
doing.
expand
Yes.
soon. Yeah,
Many
okay, cool.
expanse things to say.
Yes.
What you're
Yes,
about to
that's
see is the
great.
live organization of a podcast. Can you do this date? Nope. Can
Grab,
you do this
grab
date?
my
I can.
calendar out.
This is what the audience want to see.
Administration.
Yeah, just
What's all
podcast
about?
admin. So, Chris, do you have any memories from the last 100 episodes that you want to share?
Do you know what? It's normally a nightmare to come up with the ideas, but I've really enjoyed doing things like the Christmas podcast where we're sort of hanging out and playing silly games. I think it's in the run-up, it's always a bit manic trying to come up with a new original idea or something that works in an audio-friendly way, but then normally it's a lot of fun when we end up doing it. And a bit like Kat says as well, the monthly news roundups have been really fun to listen to and take part in, because it's kind of enlightened me to certain stuff that I probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise. You know, it's like you see these big long lists, and I see the list every month so that I can do the banner. And you end up going, what? They're doing a remake of that? Really? And you start Googling about it and going and,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm so thankful to Craig for keeping track of all the news sources. There's just so much.
Yeah, I spend my month just, I must take a note of that. So I've always got a notes thing in my phone where there's just things that I need to remember for when I pull the list together. It's a constant job. It is a constant job. The memory I'm really going to share, it's just one that sprung into mind just now. I didn't think about it, but it's not a podcast episode. It's actually one of the interviews. One of those things that don't count. But I had the pleasure of interviewing an actor I really like, Catherine McNamara, over the last 100 episodes. She was in there somewhere. And it was only a 15-minute interview. And anybody who listens to this podcast or even just looks at the runtime of any of them will know that brevity is not our strong suit, and certainly not my strong suit. So if you tell me I've only got 15 minutes to talk to someone, I'm ready to panic. So I prepared a list of questions, and I was sitting there, and it's like, here's your Zoom invite. So I clicked the Zoom invite, and I was expecting to be in a waiting room or something before I got thrown in. Nope, straight in there. Just sitting there. There was Catherine McNamara on camera waving at me as I was just sitting there looking like an idiot, ready to do this interview. And I started off a little bit flustered. Fortunately, that bit's not in the final edit, but it was a great interview. I ended up doing it in 12 minutes instead of 15. So brevity can be my strong suit if I let it.
A chat question if you want it.
Okay, yeah, throw it in.
I'm too old to know what it means, so you have to tell me. Do you guys have any ops?
I think
Ops? I've got a cup of tea.
We've got any what? Oh,
I think, yeah, we've got some
Is it
fun.
OPS
We've got some fun in the
or-
chat.
OPPS.
opportunities.
Jinx.
Ask for clarification. Who asked the question?
Mr. Driller, which could be a sniper, I guess, but it depends on who Craig knows.
Mr. Driller.
Well, hello, Mr. Driller. Can you clarify what you mean by
Ops for Mr. Driller.
ops?
Opportunities. Do we have any opportunities? Like in life?
Or like to
Any,
join the
any hip
podcast,
replacements
maybe?
coming up, or
Like other.
Also, everyone say hello to Spock, my cat, who is going to be causing
Come here.
trouble throughout the podcast.
Hello.
Hi Spot.
Hi, Spock.
No keeping.
He's adorable.
Hello, Spock.
Yeah, I think he should have his own camera. I think we should have like just.
Yes, I
Spock
agree
watch.
completely. Yes.
Yeah.
Spock cam, absolutely.
Well, I'm not able to organize that right now because I only have the one camera and it's plugged into this computer.
Yes,
Right.
and the only problem with that is that Spock would likely be far more interesting than any of us.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
Yeah, we don't want to
I
deflect
don't know.
attention.
We could get our cat, and it could be like a cat off.
Yeah.
Mine is probably sleeping right now, so I don't think that she'll join us today.
Well, we'll come back to that question if we get a clarification. So, Angus, memories. Do you have any?
In
Just in
general,
general.
or
Do you remember anything?
not
about your
really,
life?
but in the last 100, I think we've covered quite a few Alien movies for Alien Day, and I was kind of reflecting on it, our time covering the latter half of the Alien franchise, and thinking, yes, we've reached the point now where we don't really need to have some serious criticism about what we're watching. We can just kind of rip it, and yeah, we kind of descend into just farce now, talking about Alien. So yeah, I'm sure there's been some pretty good times listening back to it on half speed and just cracking up at what we sound like, or
It is one of our
somehow
favorite
somehow
games.
bringing in Vin Diesel almost every time. Yeah, too many to mention, but yeah, and like Chris said, the Christmas spectaculars have been pretty good. I particularly enjoy coming up with the daft questions for the Home Alone Traps game. I think I enjoy doing that more than you guys enjoy playing the game itself. But you know, that's for me. I like that. And there won't be any more because we've covered the only canonical Home Alone movies. So
We have, but
those
there may be a riff
those
on it.
episodes have been recorded and they're there, you know, in perpetuity. People can go back and listen to them and laugh.
I've thought
Laugh
of a
with
new
me.
one for you though, right now. What if it was like Jumanji? And it's like who got turned into a monkey? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not quite the same.
Well, no, but you needed like you need an alternative now.
Anyway, edit.
So, Natalie, do you have any memories of the last 100 episodes that you want to share?
So when Chris said, "Oh yeah, the Christmas one," I was like, oh, "Yeah, damn, that's what I could say." And then I realized I wasn't on the Christmas one.
You were on one of
Yeah.
them where
Yeah.
you copied a
Yeah.
game that had
So-
already been played a minute ago. That was quite funny.
I was thinking on my feet and I panicked and then stuck with my idea, and we saw how that worked out. I laughed, I found it amusing, and I guess it's all that matters.
And now we've got the Jumanji game.
Now we've
Now
got the
we've got
Jumanji
that.
game. And then I was trying to think of like other podcasts, and then Gus said the alien ones, and so I'm like, yeah, those ones were quite fun. I honestly can't remember, like,
We've done a couple of good Star Trek ones that
Have
you
we?
didn't really seem to know very much about, but that was entertaining.
Yeah.
I like asserting that Riker is an inverted controls guy. I'm sticking with that.
Do you know, I actually found a photo on my phone last week, and it was like a photo I'd taken of one of the Star Trek movies when we were watching at your mum and dad's house, and it was Data, and it was Data when he developed feelings, and that really cracked me up, and I don't know why, but that was a little flashback I had last week about that. I guess we podcasted about that.
Yeah. One of the things I remember from one of the episodes you were on was when we did the Alien versus Predator one. We decided movie ain't that bad, actually. Not great, but it's not bad. It doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. But you were listing things that you were surprised existed in that universe, and one of them was penguins.
Yes. Well, they're just not. You don't think that they're going to be
Takes place
hanging
in
out together.
near present day Antarctica.
Or
Yeah.
2004 when the film came out.
Yeah.
Well,
You're very
again,
surprised that penguins made an appearance.
I just thought, they've made that decision to include penguins. They could have just shown snowy ice caps or whatever and not include any other life form, but they've included penguins, and I feel like there's a significance in that.
It was for a jump scare.
So
Yeah,
the
but if-
space for Alien versus Penguins.
Yeah, or peng
Sure.
aliens. We should be looking out for those hybrids from now on.
Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing. I feel like they have opened that avenue. But yeah, that was just something that I thought quite interesting. And obviously
Isaac, you can draw a penguin.
Pengualian.
A pengualian, and aliens lay penguins lay eggs as well, so you could have the traditional egg opening up
Again.
kind of thing with a penguin next to it. There you go.
compatible.
You're welcome. Pengualian.
Yeah.
In a
Have
blizzard in
fire
South
range.
Ridley
in
Scott,
South
if you're watching.
Arctic.
There's an idea.
I think that they
Free
included
ideas
penguins
for
a
y'all.
reason, like seriously. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I've got memories. They're not in any order.
I have
Okay.
memories.
So
I know. I keep remembering things, and then I'm like, that was a fun time? Was that in this last 100, or was it in the first 100?
Mm. Yeah. Like, I don't know when we did Power Rangers, and I was going to say, I don't think that podcast episode, but it might not have been in the last 100, but the memory of it has definitely resurged, has been brought up multiple times because we keep getting in the top 10 podcasts in Jamaica and Qatar.
With Power Rangers, the top 10
The
Power Rangers podcast.
Like with that, so I feel like that's still relevant.
It's pretty
whenever
niche,
that
but
was.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Yeah. And
A
I
wheelhouse
sent
is a
Craig-
wheelhouse.
Yeah, and I sent Craig like a DVD cover a couple of weeks ago, and I think that we need to watch it because that definitely looks like it is the Power Rangers, but not. Can't remember what it's called. What was it called?
Not quite Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was some-
believe it's not Power Rangers.
There's that famous
What
memory
was
again.
it? It was like the Harper Man or something. I don't know. I feel like I saw the picture recently in my phone. I sent
So-
it to Craig.
This is the part of the podcast where people start looking things up.
While we're thinking about that, Isaac, do you have any memories of the last 100 episodes?
No, I don't know. On many episodes. I don't know, was I on Rise of Skywalker? I feel like I was.
I think you were.
Maybe.
Because I'm like the only person who liked it, so I have to be honest. Since in the last 100 episodes, I've done some banners. So I've done
Yes.
some more
Some excellent artwork.
behind the
yeah.
scenes stuff for the podcast, which has been fun. That might come back because of when I watch things when I'm falling rapidly behind with everything, and it was getting hard work to like. I'm still not seen Eternals or Shang-Chi. I have to really scrape around to find something. What else would be fun? We did the live instant reactions. They were quite good after the midnight screenings. I think we did one for Endgame and Infinity War. I think they were within
the
last
we
100.
did one for Rise of Skywalker as well, I think.
Yeah, they're quite, because I mean they're kind of manic because everyone's really tired, and it's like 3 a.m. every time. And yeah, Attack of the Clones. I remember that more because it was I think the Wi-Fi had broken in my flat, and I had to like get an Ethernet cable and like wire it from one side of the flat all the way to the other side of the flat, and just like have a big cable, like just like pulling apart a spaceship, like getting cables and stuff all to the front room. But yeah,
It still looked like a droid factory in there.
it's like a droid factory in there.
Oh.
He was just weaving in and out, trying to get back and forth. It was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what's coming up in the next 100. Maybe I'll try and get more involved or turn up. Oh, there's a dog barking.
There's a dog. Andrew, do you have memories of the last 100 episodes?
Yes, I have many. Because I actually did some preparation for this and had scroll back through the podcast page of the website to remind myself which ones I was actually on.
Oh, good. Just a flash every time.
Yeah, not any. Okay. So, but just in a general sense, I just want to mention that it doesn't come through on the actual recordings because of Craig's editing, but I do have a kind of speech problem. Yes, which, as I mentioned, which Craig manages to edit around. But doing the podcasts and doing that vast amount of talking, like all at the same time, it has actually kind of helped a little bit in my sort of everyday life and kind of training myself to actually speak properly and actually kind of try to engage with people with coherent thoughts, which is just one of the reasons I'm really, really glad that I've actually kind of become involved in doing them. And just in a more specific sense, one of my favorite podcasts for doing was the one that Craig and I did after the end of iZombie, just because it was just such a fun series, and I absolutely loved it all the way through, and just having the chance and the excuse to revisit all and just spend like 3.5 hours just talking about what made it such fun and everything about it that we enjoyed and everything about it that kept us coming back over the years was really one of my favorite times that I've sat down in front of a microphone.
Oh, that was a good episode. I don't remember it that clearly because it was a while ago, but no, it was a good episode and it was good to talk about the show. I do love that show. It's one of those on the rewatch list. I want to go back and just drink it all in from the beginning at some point, and maybe we can podcast about like favorite episodes from earlier seasons at some point. I don't know. It's all to play for.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
More podcast planning for the viewers.
More planning, yeah. So before we move to our next segment, does anyone have any final memories that they desperately want to get in there? Natalie does?
Yeah,
Go on, you go.
I had looked up on my phone because I knew I'd taken a picture and sent it to you. I think that we need to include in the next 100 podcasts, I think that we need to review Inframan, which it says on the back because I took a picture of the incredible front cover and I also took a picture of the reverse, and it says something about futuristic heroism and spandex costumes that could only have been dreamed up during the golden age of Hong Kong cinema. And it talks about putting other superhero flicks to shame with its brilliant bicep flexing bout of good versus evil. I think we need to watch it, and I think we need to cover it. And then, because you did want another Power Rangers podcast, and I'm telling you, I don't think you can see it, but like the bad guys. No, you definitely can't see it. But the bad guys on this, they look like Power Ranger bad guys, and I just feel like something's gone on here. Can you see that? Look
Just
at those
remembered
guys.
that one of my favorite parts of the podcast is whenever Natalie pitches something to Craig and he just shoots it down immediately.
We'll discuss it at a later
Let's
time.
do
Who
it.
knows?
There we
Maybe
go.
I'll-
That's it.
Down in
think-
flames.
I think we all need to do it. So
All of
I'll
us.
buy it. It's £10 in pop. Let's watch it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
We
Everyone?
will-
Everyone?
Every single one of us,
yeah.
commit now.
was gonna
Pick a
say-
date.
Yeah, everyone looks really into it.
Yeah.
Yes, well, as long as the golden age of Hong Kong cinema it's referring to is the 70s, otherwise that is incorrect.
Look, I don't know when it came out, and I don't know if my phone will let me zoom in that much, but let's maybe. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have a look.
Let's
It's
all wait for it.
1975.
Yes.
Okay.
Inframan 1975. Boom.
Andrew's in, but he'll literally watch anything, as he said many times.
Great.
That's true.
Craig, you wanted another Power Rangers podcast.
I
and this is
am
here to
slut
get
for
us fucking
garbage.
bored.
Yeah, I want another Power
So-
Rangers podcast, not just
Yeah.
I want Power Rangers, not.
But it looks
knockoff
like Power
Rangers.
Rangers, so why can't we watch it? And can it be knockoff if it came before the Power Rangers?
Yep.
Because
Time
how
travel.
old are the Power Rangers?
The 90s. But I don't know
Right.
how old the Sentai is. That's older. Maybe
Right,
that's
well,
also
look,
the 90s.
1975 for Inframan.
For someone who doesn't like Power Rangers, you spend a lot of time talking about Power Rangers.
Craig literally mentions it every time. It's the first, it's not even, he doesn't greet me like, hello. He goes, Power Rangers.
Yeah. Okay, let us move on. So
Well,
we
you've
do
got
have
your-
some.
You've got chats. This is like,
We've got
this is like
chats.
the actual first real chat.
Okay,
What happened to the last guy?
fire away.
Shade getting through.
Last guy had
Pretty
to
sure
go.
that was spam.
Oh.
Yeah.
I tried to tease Craig with the name, but he wasn't there. So, but this one's a real one. I'm talking about Power Rangers, the biker gang in the Book of Boba Fett, which Chris has responded well to, I think.
Oh my god, the biker! I can't get over it. The color-coded bikes, the children on the
These
bikes. I have so many
Yeah.
thoughts about the Book of Boba Fett. Not,
Are these
Excellent.
not,
spoiler? Hold
not
on.
many of them are good.
Are these
I'm
spoiler alerts?
loving-
Because we've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
I'm loving the book
Well,
of
there's
Boba
some
Fett at the moment.
children on candy-colored bikes.
It's
It's
pretty
not a
great.
spoiler. It's not interesting.
Not really a
Kind of
spoiler.
dumb, actually.
Okay.
What
I-
do
I
people
kinda
like
want
this?
one.
Do you guys like this?
I like Book of Boba Fett. Though they did do
yes,
one
no,
episode
but the
that was.
bikes. I think.
Oh no, I like the
bikes
bikes. The bikes are fun.
specific-
There's the cool, like the sort of chrome. All the people have like cool, weird. I like those like weird little tie that guy has, where it's just like painted onto his shirt.
Yeah.
It's all weird, all fun. So
It made me think of like those color-coded Teletubby Daleks from an episode of Doctor Who that were there for no real reason
I like them
whatsoever.
too. Bring me in. I'll defend all the rubbish. I think that's my job. I think that's my one thing that I bring to this. I'm like, I like this awful thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Isaac likes to be
Sorry.
against the grain, or maybe he's just naturally against the grain. Who knows? But he is often against the grain, which is variety. Gives us some variety, I suppose. Any more
That's my role.
chats, Aaron? Did we successfully answer the biker gang question? I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I haven't seen. I've
Wait,
seen
what
one
was
episode of
the-
the Book of Boba Fett.
What was the question?
There was it was just gauging our interest in Boba Fett and how well you think
Mm.
that bike again matches up with Power Rangers. Maybe which do you think is
Ah,
best?
Well, do
If
you know
they're
what,
colour
You haven't
coded,
watched one or
then-
the other.
Sure. Yeah.
I would
It's
say
only if they form a massive space Zespa at the end. You know, when it comes to the final battle, you want to see them all merge into one like mega thing.
It
Yep.
could happen. They
I
are.
think that they definitely match the Power Rangers thing. But it's not like because they're so like just weirdly retro 60s looking bikes, like shiny Vespas. It just that whole episode just kind of felt a bit weird in the context of Star Wars.
Well, yeah, because isn't it like it's they're called mods because they're modified, but it's referencing mods like the music culture.
Maybe, and like they have like a mod subculture where they're all like getting, cyborg enhancements as if they're getting tattoos. And it's just kind of a strange thing to suddenly be like, oh yeah, by the way, in Star Wars world, you do this too. And it's like, first I've ever heard of it, but I guess
Sounds like
that's
Star Wars
fine.
writers are playing a bit too much cyberpunk. That's what it sounds like.
It felt like, yeah, cyberpunky. I forget what I was watching around the same time, and I was like, there's just echoes of like stuff in here that I'm not 100% sure work. It's a bit weird. I think it would suit a Doctor Who episode like you said, like super well. But yeah, it's a little strange within the context of Star Wars. I'm not sure that I'm a big fan. Also because those kids do absolutely nothing. They're useless. I don't understand why they're there. I don't care for them. Please make them go away. Anyway, I have hot takes on Boba Fett. Apparently,
We might
this
have a
evening.
Book of Boba podcast based on all this.
Yes,
It sounds like our opinions.
could do.
I won't be
can't
on it
tell
because
if
I
I'm,
haven't
like,
seen it.
more interested or not. I'm like, am I more interested now to find out who this biker gang from Tatooine are?
Tatooine.
That's we biker gang. Yeah, brilliant.
Or am I not? I don't know. Can't tell. Have you watched
I think
it?
you should
Amy?
be.
I have not.
Okay.
Any more chat questions that we can
I
deal
think
with?
you've answered that pretty well, so Arthur, that's fine.
Cool. Okay.
Also,
Thank
So-
hi to
you.
Michael,
And
who's
hi to
watching us
Michael,
from
yeah.
Germany, presumably.
Hi, Michael.
Hello.
Hi, Michael from Germany. I'm here.
Hello, Michael.
Hi.
You
Hi, everyone that's
real life
watching.
friends in the film festival before times.
The before
Before
times, yeah. Okay, before our next segment, we got a number of testimonials. People are stopping by to say hello. I haven't listened to any of these yet, so they could all just be insulting me for all I know, which could be fun. So I chose to just react live to all of them, which could be good fun.
Brave
So-
man.
Chris,
Yeah,
can we
so-
zoom in on Craig's face? please?
Reaction cam.
So, Chris, I sent you a handy numbered list, and there are notes as to who the person is that should flash up on your screen as well. So
I'm
can
sure
you
I'll get
play
it
us
wrong.
the- Yeah, maybe.
It's
Well,
Tony Black, the
whatever.
head honcho of the We Made This Podcast network. Just checking in to tell you that Craig's Twitter handle, Nemesis4909, began life as a Resident Evil reference and then later became a Star Trek Nemesis reference. Well done, mate. 200 episodes, going strong. Here's to the next 200.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so I'll explain the reference there. I also podcast on the We Made This Podcast network. Apparently, this podcast just isn't enough for me, and I don't give myself enough work. So I go over there and do podcasts sometimes. And at the end of every one, I have to tell them who I am. And I always explain that my Twitter handle was my original handle when I started having handles on the internet way back. And I just picked one, Nemesis 4909, because of Resident Evil. And then Star Trek Nemesis eventually came out, and I was like, oh, that's two things. So there we go. I'll keep this. Yeah, it's less funny when you explain it.
I mean, that's good. I don't know what I ever thought. I just thought it was a name. Thanks for clearing that up.
Now you know. There you go. Revelations. So before our next segment, shall we see if there's any more chat? Aaron, if you're monitoring the chat, or if there's anything on Facebook.
Honestly, I'm the worst at this, but I'm managing, and there's nothing at the bottom there. So
Aaron, you're doing a great job.
I'm surviving it, but I think I'm
You're doing a
definitely
great
showing
job.
my age.
Doing a great job. Okay, well, let's move to our next segment then. It was teased earlier by Kat and Aaron as well. So
Was it?
sometimes at Kneel Before Pod, we like to have some fun. We like to try and test the limits of my audio editing skills to see if I can come up with something quite funny to entertain mostly myself while I'm trying to edit. So I've picked 5 clips that are quite funny, 2 of which are pretty embarrassing for me, some of which are not. But I'll need to lead them in with an explanation as to what it is. So the first one is from the much talked about Power Rangers episode, where I decided as an intro to distort my voice so I sound as much like the Power Rangers leader / command center floating head guy with the badly dubbed voice as in the mouth never matches the voice, Zordon. So I decided to give that a go and use that as my intro, and I did it. So Chris, if you'll roll the clip, and I will just bury my head in the sand.
Our music is so banging.
Rangers, welcome to a special edition of Kneel Before Pod. Our mission today is to discuss some landmark episodes of the classic 90s series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This trip into nostalgia is no easy task, and to accomplish it we'll need some podcasters with attitude.
Sorry about that, that's better.
All right, so how accurate is that? From the Power
Excellent.
from the Power Rangers peoples, how accurate was that?
It sounds amazing.
Well, I can't speak to its accuracy because I did it, but
It sounds amazing.
I did my best.
Yeah.
Reminds me more of that biker gang from Tatooine, but
They would definitely drive
Yeah.
around to that music, I think. Definitely.
Are we going to get copyright striked for using so much of that without? Never mind. It's
I
done
really,
now.
I really like that.
It's too late now.
Twitch have shut down the stream. No one's watching. That's what's happened because we played too much music. So that was that. That was a fun thing to do. What I did was I tried to do an impression of Zordon in my own voice, and then I distorted it from there. So it was a double whammy. So it was
that wasn't
fully
all
committed
you.
to the
That
bit.
was I just assumed there were no effects on that, and you.
Yeah, there we
I thought
go.
it sounded
So
pretty good.
that's the first one. So
What is this segment called?
funny clips. That's what I've titled it.
I
Yeah.
mean, it did make me laugh. So
There we go. Our second clip is one that might embarrass Chris, or maybe not. So when we talked about the full season of Marvel's Inhumans, we've got to be one of the few people that ever decided to discuss this thing twice. We talked about the pilot that was an IMAX that screened to like 5 people in certainly the screening we were in. And then we came back and talked about the full series. But in the show, there's a giant dog in it called Lockjaw, and he gets hit by a quad bike in, I believe, the 3rd episode. So Chris decided, because he often decides to do this, he will often throw in things that I have to edit on top of to make sense. And he decided to warn the spoiler dog, as it was, to watch out for the quad bike. So I decided to edit in the clip of Lockjaw getting hit by the quad bike and make that a bit. And if you roll the clip, you'll see how successfully I did it.
Oh, I love the spoiler dog. Bring on the spoiler dog.
The spoiler dog. Yeah. Okay, that was a rough trip, but now we're in spoiler section, so we can like chat about where
We go for the quad bike. Oh God! Did you just hear the sound there of the quad bike hitting the spoiler dog? Oh no!
does the dog die?
No, it's just injured. It's a CGI dog, so they needed an excuse for it not to be on screen for most of the episodes.
Oh
And
my
apparently
God.
someone in the writer's room thought, why don't we get it hit by a quad bike? That'll work.
God, that's awful. I never made it that far into Inhumans. I watched the pilot in IMAX for some reason. And then maybe I watched a couple more episodes, but then I was like, do you know what? I'm done. So first of all, kudos for making it the whole way through. Second of all, ouch, man.
I reviewed every single episode and then podcasted about it twice. I think I've consumed more Inhumans than possibly anyone.
Yeah, I think statistically
the people
speaking.
made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just remember
Although Anson
walking
Mount, when
in.
we went to a Star Trek convention, he seemed quite proud of what he did on that show, I suppose. He seemed okay with it.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah, no,
he
that
was
was-
quite
that was really
honest.
fun.
Well, that was possibly because his kind of like part of things was the least stupid.
True. Which isn't saying a lot. Everything in that show is pretty stupid. But yes, that was what I did there. I think it was a pretty seamless piece of editing. You can't tell that. I don't know. You can't tell that I did anything.
They didn't really hit a dog with a quad bike.
No, we didn't. We did. Honest animal rights people.
You want people to think that that wasn't a special effect.
Yeah. Or we want people to. It depends. If they're sending the police, then it's a special effect. If they're not, then it's not.
Yeah, but also don't be dicks to animals.
Yeah.
Be great.
Okay,
It's
our
all right.
third clip is what Kat talked about earlier. We have the dramatic reading from the episode entitled
Yes.
Photogenic Memory, when we still gave the podcast titles. It was the Phantom Menace podcast. So she reads the Shakespearean-inspired adaptation of the Phantom Menace, and there's a bit of a Jar Jar Binks impression in there. So roll it.
A man approacheth, clothed in Jedi garb. Belike this man brings aid unto Naboo, such as will help my people and my land. Mayhap this is the chance I have desired, for I have wandered lo these many months, a-thinking over this planet's dreary fate, two peoples separated by their fear and prejudice, which e'er doth make us shirk from giving help unto each other. Aye, it may be that the only hope for us, to be united, is to realize that our two fates are tightly knit as one. Perchance this Jedi, followed by these droids, doth bring the words to break our deep mistrust. I shall make introduction, in my way, portray the part that I have learned so well. It doth befit the human prejudice to think we Gungans simple, low, and rude. I shall approach him thusly, yet shall bend him to the path that shall assist us all. Put on thy simple wits now, Jar Jar Binks, thus play the role of clown to stoke his pride.
Ooh,
That
that
is
is an
brilliant.
aspect.
He meets Qui-Gon, right? And so he meets Qui-Gon and he goes,
Was there not more to it than that?
He goes, what?
No, that's all I've got.
What happened?
I've got 1 minute 9.
Live reading.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I thought there was a clip of her doing it, but
I think
don't
I
know.
think you had to coax it out of me.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's. Anyway, that was that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got a bit
that
of
was a
dramatic
fun-
Shakespearean reading. Yeah.
That was a really fun thing to do. And I, like I mentioned in that episode, and I talk about these books constantly because like I find them in various shops and I'm like, oh my God, like I get them for people's birthdays because I think they're first of all hilarious. Second of all, actually quite smart. You know, like taking the force doth awaken, you know, like these stories are of like Shakespearean drama level of just, you know, just big energy, big emotions. And so yeah, like the theory that Jar Jar is actually just putting on the clown kind of like stupid personality, like almost like a cloak to hide his like ulterior agenda of saving his planet. And he's like, you know, like maybe this will help. Like it's better than Darth Jar Jar, I would argue, which is a very popular theory. And yeah, like one that I actually kind of semi-subscribe to because I just think it's fun. It's more fun that way. So yes, and it does inform it. Like if you watch the Phantom Menace with that in mind, it just kind of, I don't know, spices it up a little bit, makes it more
A little bit. It's still unwatchable, but
it's still
slightly
pretty
more.
it's still pretty gnarly. It's still a pretty gnarly movie, but I think kind of like as I when we rewatched it for that episode, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would on rewatch, and that was surprising to me.
I think it took me several sittings to watch it. I'm sure it took me like four sittings to get through it, which sometimes happens. So our
Anyway,
fourth clip.
you're welcome.
Yeah,
I was gonna
well
say
done.
if this was on Audible, I feel like, and I don't mean the book because the book might well be on Audible, but if it was Kat reading this book on Audible, I think I'd listen to it.
Oh,
There you
well,
go.
as luck would have it, I do read short stories on a different podcast. So if you do want to hear my sultry voice, self-plug right here, very shamelessly, I do the some of the fiction podcasts for Strange Horizons magazine, where I do read stories, not necessarily in a Shakespearean tone, but different tones every time because it's all science fiction and weird.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yes,
that's
listen to
very
that if you like
exciting.
it.
Yes, please. And also, I hope that you can shoehorn more perchances and doths in there. And
for maybe haps.
Yeah, and I will find that.
Yes, and also as someone who has listened to to some of Kat's story readings, I can actually confirm she is an exceptional narrator. And
Thank you.
yes, and that listening to her read fiction out loud is a delight.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed doing it. I think a lot of those stories like deserve like like a proper I'm just like, can I do the best? Like, gosh, yeah, I could talk about it a lot. I love a lot of the stories that I've done. So thank you, and I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. There we go. Our fourth clip is when Chris had a conversation with Pikachu when we talked about Detective Pikachu.
Oh.
He just kept addressing him so that I would have to keep editing in the limited library of Pikachu noises that I had access to. Roll it.
Yeah.
We do also have a special guest for this podcast.
Oh.
Yes. We are joined by none other than Pikachu. Say hello, Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Hi, Pikachu. What was the journey like getting up here today?
Pikachu.
Really? What, they fully booked it again, even in first class? First class, really? God, that is unbelievable.
You can't bring Pikachu into the studio and then not let me speak to Pikachu. I'm just saying that's the rules. You set
I'm personally
me up with an
impressed by
interview with
his-
Pikachu.
Yeah, what I'm personally impressed by is he sounds like he's emotionally reacting to what you're saying.
That was
So
definitely you, Craig. Don't try and don't try
I
and
think I
tell us
could do-
that was an effect.
A pitch perfect Pikachu voice. Do you think?
Yeah.
You give me too much credit.
Well, you imbued him with such emotion, as you just said. You know,
Yeah, it was a bit fun.
Had
It's
to
quite
be
funny
live.
because we kind of forgot he was there for most of the podcast and had to just make up an excuse to bring him back in towards the end. I think I just said that he'd been asleep or something like that, and we brought it home. It was fine.
Pikachu is liked in chat, so I think you're going to have to do it again or expand that somehow. Full conversation interview, I think, actually.
Need to interview Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Chris has got to do it. You can't.
I'm not allowed to do it.
Yes, standalone podcast. I
There you
would
go.
listen to that. Yeah.
There you go,
Probably
Chris.
be
You've
one
got
of
a
the
fandom.
easiest, one of the easiest interviews I could ever do in comparison to the ones I normally record. So yeah, I could do that.
Yes, please. Well,
Yeah.
me and Aaron were there.
That would be there.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see if Pikachu will come out of retirement and waive his high appearance fee. Ever since he was on our podcast, he went massive, and now we can't afford him. So that's great. It was good to be the stepping stone in his way to something bigger, but you have to remember the people that you stepped on the way up, because you'll need them on the way down, Pikachu.
Sounds like somebody's got some beef Pikachu.
It was an unpleasant parting of the ways. Let's put it that way.
Alright. Well, maybe after Chris's little one-to-one, we can have like a behind the scenes reveal of what it was really like working together. I might not listen to that one, but I'm just putting it out there, isn't it? Yeah.
You're really selling it. Let's do this thing that I'm not going to listen to. Sounds great.
Just one
We have
person.
one clip left. This one was teased earlier by Aaron. It is me doing the He-Man transformation, and I put a lot of work into this one, and it is very embarrassing.
Very
But
right.
a qualified professional voice actor commended me on it and said I did a good job.
Oh my
So
God,
I'm
is
taking
that
it.
right?
So, Chris, roll it.
So yeah, that's it for the trail. Oh, what's this? I've just found something on the floor here. Is that a sword? Why is there a sword here? That wasn't here before. I feel weirdly compelled to lift it above my head and say, "By the power of Grayskull." I have the power. What's going on? Where are most of my clothes? Aaron, Angus, what are you doing here? Where am I? What's going on?
Oh, Craig, you're looking so buff and muscular.
I am, actually. What's going on? I found this sword.
Yeah, not sure about this whole stripping off in the middle of a podcast thing. I'm not really sure about this, to be honest. I wasn't warned. I was given no
I don't know. I
warning.
could get into this.
I found the sword, and then I felt compelled to say something, and now this happened. What's going on? Do you guys know? Why are we in this weird, desolate landscape?
Welcome to Eternia. That's just the way it's done here. People just strip off.
Wow, you guys really went for that. Because it just, I mean, I was like, wow, this is exceptional. And then it just kept on going.
It
took a while to exchange
every review of Deal Before Pod.
So there it is. That was that.
Yeah, the Patreon people can see the video.
They don't want to, but they can. So yeah, that's the five of the, I suppose, many attempts, but those are the 5 I remember of trying to be funny during a podcast and using audio editing to enhance things. There we go. I did a He-Man transformation and got complimented by a professional voice actor. So I'll take it. I will take it. Yeah. There we go. Seamless bit of editing. Okay.
Potentially a personal question for Craig in the chat.
Okay.
I think I've worked out that it comes charged for Craig, but I'm not sure. Can you see
Go
the
for it.
chat there, Craig?
No, I'm not. I don't have
You
the
see
chat
the
open.
message by a
That's your
certain
job.
Ross McLean that you might know.
Like a jungle
No.
fight.
Can you read it?
No, okay. He's specially signed up for Twitch to ask for your hottest take. Something particularly spicy, in fact, from the last 100 era. What has most upset you in the last 100 or made you fall in love?
I don't know. That is me on the spot. What have I? My hot take.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to look up things that we did in the last 100
Yeah.
episodes that I have a spicy take for.
Yeah.
I suppose I have a semi-spicy take in that in an episode that I wasn't on, where Craig and Aaron were like, yeah, the Eternals were just kind of all right, and just for 2 hours harped on. I was like, oh man, because I loved it. I loved it. I think it's like maybe my second favorite Marvel movie, third favorite. I really liked Infinity War, and because I really liked Guardians. So maybe top 5 though. Top 5. It's right up there. It's right up there. I just
Isaac,
really
you've lost
liked
your
it.
slot. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hang on, how many? But it is a spicy take because I think a lot of
getting
people
cooler.
really did not like it. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what's not to like. I think it was great. But also it's like, it's because it's mostly not a superhero movie, which I feel is the thing for me. Like my favorite Marvel movie is the first Thor movie, which is not a superhero movie. It's Shakespeare in space. And I feel like this is also kind of in that vein of like just big cosmic things. It's really more of an existential question, you know. It's like, oh, what's, you know, do we kill God? Can we, like, yeah, just big eternal things in the scope of like just a little, like, yeah, I don't know, perhaps too ambitious, but and not perfect for sure. I'm not saying that, but the
So you're-
spicy take is 5 stars.
Okay. One has just come to mind because I saw it on the list when we discussed the first DC fandom. I think it was myself, Chris, and Isaac that were on that one. And I basically said, after all the announcements they made, that I was just so sick of Batman. Just so sick of him because he's everywhere. There's too many Batman things appearing. And Isaac chimed in with, it's really the wrong time to be sick of Batman. And yeah, it is. It's not the best time to be sick of Batman. So maybe that's a hot enough take. It's the best we're going to get on short notice.
I can't remember if it was.
Well, one particular kind of thing I recall, it's like I was when I think it was just Craig and himself again when we were discussing the Hellboy movies. I had ahead of the new one, and after rewatching them, I kind of sort of realized that despite how much I love the Hellboy comics and how much I love Guillermo del Toro as a filmmaker, and I love like all of the Lovecraftian horror aspects of it, and like the comic book madness of it. The first Hellboy movies actually not that good. I mean, but it was a conclusion that I only came to like during the rewatch prior to that podcast, and I was kind of quite surprised myself that I actually had that reaction.
Still better than the new one, though.
Very true. Yes, that was hot garbage.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, yes, like yeah, but yeah, it's I think it. I can't recall exactly what it was about it that I decided I took exception to, but I know, but I do remember having that opinion, and I probably need to rewatch it again to remember why I decided that I didn't like it as much as I thought I did. But that's my searing hot take for a film going on 20 years old.
I think some of these movies have like a glamour, so you get so drawn in and captivated, especially if it's something that you totally love in a comic, and it sucked you in. And I think that glamour is kind of worn off a little bit, and you can see it for what it really is, a little bit of trash.
Well, that's much trash, just more distinctly average.
I think it's because a lot of studio notes probably appeared when they were making it. You need to have a human character that we can focus on. You need to do this, you need to do that. And there's all those concessions that are made. And then he makes the second one and all of those concessions are gone. It's like that human character, we moved him to the Arctic or something. No one cares. No one wants him back and things like that. So I think that's probably fair. The first one probably isn't the film that Del Toro wanted to make either, but he had to make a few allowances in order to get it made in the first place. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So hopefully that was a hot enough take. Is there anything else in the chat before we move to our...
Ask for a very specific hot take, actually, or Shang-Chi.
Well, my hot take of that is that I really enjoyed it. I thought it was...
Is it a
really
hot
good.
take to say we really liked that?
Yeah.
That's my sister, by
action
the
was
way.
good.
Hey, what's up?
Action
Thanks
was
for the
good. The
question.
characters were good. Could have done with a bit less Trevor Slattery.
I no disagree. Oh, there's a hot take. Trevor Slattery is the best that I really like. I don't think that was I on the Iron Man 3 podcast? I don't remember if I was.
We've never done an Iron Man 3 one. We kind of discussed it during a Marvel ranking one at some point.
Interesting, because I have thoughts.
We'll get to it one of these days. We will look back and we'll cover everything.
Listen, my thought is I really like what they did with subverting the trope of like the 10 rings and like the really racist imagery of like the old man, like just it's great, like taking the stuff that really sucks from like the 60s and before and just being like, right, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it all like just a puff of smoke. And like Slattery, I don't know, maybe because I know actors and a lot of them are like this, that it just like, oh, I'm an actor, like just trust me. Oh my god. And so yeah, I was really surprised that he was in Shang-Chi again, but also of course because 10 rings, like, that had to kind of come full circle. No, yeah, the hot take is that was really fun. I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was really great. And
the hot take is we're following popular opinion. That's the hot take.
Well, I don't know that that's true. Like a lot of people were really hating on like Awkwafina for some reason, which I don't understand why.
She's criminal because
I think she's hilarious.
She's
and,
usually
like,
the
really
best
good.
thing in any film that she's in.
Thank you. Agreed. I don't know why people just don't like vibe with her for some reason. There was just a lot of really disagree with all of those. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry for the non-hot take.
Okay, so shall we move on to our next round of testimonials? We have two lined up for this bit. So another 2 people from the We Made This Podcast Network, I believe, is up next. So if you will roll it.
Hello, it's Andy Williams from the Frame to Frame podcast. Just wanted to say a massive congratulations on getting to 200 episodes for Kneel Before Pod. It's absolutely amazing. It's a great achievement to get to 200. The blog going strong as well, so well done on that, pal. You were classy enough to appear on episode 69 of our podcast without actually making the joke, so well done on that. Keep doing what you're doing, and the marathon continues.
Hello, Craig, and everybody at the wonderful Kneel Before Pod podcast. My name's Mark Adams, and I have hosted many podcasts over the last few years, including Writing the Childhood, Life's Milestones, Super Tap Film Club, Aunt Nell, Pull or Pass, Shipwrecked and Comatose, Don't Say the C Word, Chucky Vision, and Geek Polymath. And for someone who's done a lot of podcasts, I have never hit anywhere near 200 episodes on any of the podcasts I've ever worked on. So this is a huge deal. And I just want to say congratulations, keep doing what you're doing. Brilliant stuff, big love, and here's to what? 200 more, 600 more, 800 more, hit that 1,000. You're a fifth of the way there. I believe in you.
That's a
So
vote of
Mark-
confidence.
Yeah, Mark hasn't done 200 episodes of anything, but he has done 200 podcasts. Or he does run
Ooh.
200 podcasts.
When I
Craig.
think about 1,000, I think about how we're a quarter of the way there.
No, we're a fifth of the way there.
We're fifth of the way there.
I'm kind of disappointed in you, Craig, that you didn't make a 6ix9ine joke on episode 69. That's like the whole podcast thing. You missed it, mate. You missed it.
Too bad.
Yeah, but I just don't like to go for the obvious jokes or the non-obvious jokes.
Or any joke.
Or any jokes.
Scandalous
I
accusation.
jest.
We do have a go at a pun now and again, which fills Aaron with rage. But
Hot take on puns. Awful.
They're underrated.
Oh.
That's great.
Rick Angus, pun for your life. Aaron's coming after you.
Oh. Okay. Next.
That's a set. Okay, we are now going to play a game. And Aaron is going to be taking the lead on this one.
Oh,
He's
is
going to
he?
give us our legally distinct blankety blank game. One that is
Please
not
don't
called
sue.
blankety
We have no
blank
money.
because we don't have the rights to use it. Is it even on anymore?
I don't think so.
I think it might be back on.
It is, yeah. It's
I think
Bradley
it's back.
Walsh who hosts it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought we would just carry on quite happily with something that wasn't used anymore. Anyway, Craig,
Does
you're
that
up.
mean we can't say things like Generation Game or Gladiators?
Well, you just
Or,
did.
Those are rounds that are coming up after
Casualty.
this.
I would like to say that any resemblance of this game to Blankety Blank is completely accidental and in no way on purpose.
Yeah, yes, don't worry about that. Natalie, you're up. You are contestant number 2.
Oh, wait, but I've just eaten
Take that sweet out of your mouth right now. Yeah, needed. In this game, I will be reading you a short sentence. In that sentence, there will be the word blank. You will need to replace the word blank. Craig versus Natalie for the most points and winner of the
What?
first competition on the 200s. Everybody else is going to
Yeah.
be our celebrity guests. So
Oh.
that's good. Yeah, line yourself up
Alright.
properly for that.
Is
That's
the
it. Get
first
the hair
blank
right.
blank?
No. Although it could be, if you want it to be, actually. Because this could
Craig,
be a
a bit
game
of
of
a
mind
clue
reading.
there.
You're going to be asked to figure out what's the blank that the most celebrities have picked. 1 point for each celebrity that
Wait,
you
what
managed to get.
celebrities?
So
You guys.
do not shout it out, all right? That's the only rule you need to worry about. Do not shout out your answer.
Wait, Aaron,
So
what
just
are we
think
doing?
it.
At the moment, don't shout anything out at all. That's all you
Wait,
got to do at the
Aaron.
moment.
This is like Snatch
Little
Game on
hand raise.
RuPaul
Yeah.
to
Oh, okay. But
describe it
is
like
it
that
to be
for you.
funny or to find the real
To try,
answer?
and, find a match with one of these celebs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So it's Snatch Game.
You're going to try and guess the same word as many other celebrities as you can. Point for each celebrity.
Okay.
So your first statement is, the Justice League's new podcast had to take a break from recording recently after someone suggested Aquaman should kneel before blank. I'll just give the celebrities a moment to think of a word to fill in the blank there, and I shall interview Craig. Craig from Edinburgh, what's your name and where'd you come from?
Well, I'm Craig. I host this podcast and I introduce myself at the beginning of this podcast. So
that's true.
That's
But I think that's a bit dull, boring. Natalie, can you do any better? Natalie from Edinburgh, where'd you come from? What's your name?
I come from Edinburgh. My name is Natalie and I come from Edinburgh.
Right,
I come from
okay.
Edinburgh.
That's enough of that nonsense. That's the celebrities have had time to think of their words. So I'll now give Craig and Natalie a chance to interview theirs, and I shall.
Wait, what do I do? Do I send it to you?
No, just think of it. Just think of it.
So
Read your partner's mind. See if you can think of him. Speaking of which, I'm going to interview him now for a short second. Gus, pleased to meet you here. I hear you're into gladiatorial combat and jazzercise. How does that work out for you?
Really well when I appear on Gladiators and Saturday morning TV with Mr. Motivator.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. How did he leave the last session? Did you leave him pretty good, or did he suffer?
I don't want to answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
With the word I'm thinking right now.
We'll move on. We'll come back to Craig then. Craig, would you like to go first or second? If you go first, you get first pick. If you go second, you win a tie. What do you fancy?
Wait, do I have to write
I will
this
go
down?
second.
He's going to go second. Natalie, you're going to have to say your word first. Everybody else and the celebrities has got the word in their head. I'm going to read it out to you again. Ready? You've got to fill in the blank. So it is I've lost it. I've lost it. My prep is terrible. The Justice League's new podcast had to take a break from recording recently after someone suggested Aquaman should kneel before blank.
Oh, wait, this is a real question.
It is.
Kneel before.
What was Aquaman not pleased to kneel before?
I don't know. I've just written down two names.
I just say it. Doesn't matter. We're wasting time here. We're losing air.
Right, okay, hold on. Religion.
Religion. Aquaman was suggested to kneel before religion. Any of the celebrities, did you have religion? Put your hand up, please. Nobody. You have read nobody's mind. You have scored 0 points. Craig,
Shit,
to
I
win this
forgot that I
round,
was
you need
supposed
to
to try and
get
read
0
somebody's
or
mind.
more.
Need to get 0 or more. The
You
pressure's
get
on.
0 or
Edit that
more.
curse word out.
So can you please read the mind of your celebrity guest? What do they think of when they think of Aquaman kneeling? He kneeled before.
Dominic Toretto.
Dominic Toretto. Can any of the celebrities please put their hands up if they said that strange name? That's a no
Fast
point.
and
However,
Furious.
second person wins the tie. On 0 points, you win. Congratulations, 1 point. I am now going to go around the celebrities and ask them what Aquaman should not have knelt before. Andrew, what do you reckon?
Horny women.
Fair enough.
A what?
Horny women.
Okay.
I
that was my
don't
third
feel like I
answer.
can go in there. I feel like I'm too innocent to ask any more questions. So I go straight on to Gus. Aquaman was told to kneel before
A quad bike.
a quad bike, and he wouldn't do it. Who blame him? What can you say about that? Isaac, what would Aquaman not kneel before?
The word king was mirrors.
Mirrors. Wouldn't kneel before mirrors. Is because
No,
he
first
only wants to
it was-
see himself at full height.
that
I
was the
understand that.
word
He's
that
got a lot
wouldn't-
of good stuff to look at. Why would he want to not miss out on half of his body? Fair enough. Finally, Kat. Oh no, I've got one more person. Kat, sorry. Aquaman refused to kneel before.
I kind of thought that you wanted us to fill in like the most logical one. So like my thought was Superman.
Superman. That makes a lot of
Almost
sense.
said Superman.
Now, if Craig or Natalie had been logical people, they might have got a point there.
I'm
But I
not. I
think-
forgot what the point of the question was. Like, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen watching, there may not be too many rounds of this, but I am going to make them do at least one more. However, before I do that, I'm going to come to Chris. Aquaman refused to kneel before. Chris, what?
I say blog just to tie in the
Blog.
website handle in there.
The other thought. Thank you. That
Would
was
have
my
been a
other
free
thought.
point.
There's also one.
However, in the exciting game this is, people are winning with 0 points. So even 1 point is not needed here. Natalie, you're going
Yeah.
to go second on this one now.
Oh, right.
You will
So,
get to win here.
so I can say anything. Like I can just make anything up.
So you can say anything. Let's just keep
Right.
it simple. You can say anything. Yeah, that's fine. Craig, you're going to go first on this one. So this is for the celebrities though. The celebrities get a bit more time to think about this. What should we go with? James Gunn's directorial style has now completely altered Since he started listening to our podcast, he now insists that all of his films should contain a blank. Celebrities, what would James Gunn now put into his films? Entirely inspired by us. Give the celebrities a chance to get involved. And now I'm going to interview on this time Craig. Craig, I understand that you are interested in last person standing croquet and bullet journaling. Can you tell me about those, please?
Sure. I got into them when I heard what they are. It does prop up my strange hobbies, such as extreme ironing. That's another one that I give a go. So, yeah, I'm new at them, but I'd enjoy them. So, yeah.
That's perfectly reasonable. That's the celebrities hopefully had enough time on there to look into that, but to give the contestants time to think. Contestants, you're looking for what James Gunn is going to put into his films inspired by us. Means I have to come out into the audience and interview Isaac. Isaac,
Hello.
I understand that you've had a lot of trouble recently with your partisan Quidditch participation, and instead have taken up fly tying. Can you tell us about what really led to that?
Oh, no.
I understand. I can see that would be a particularly emotional problem. You wouldn't want to go too deep into it. Nonetheless, it's given us plenty of time to come back to who's going first. I have no idea. Craig, I made you go first this time. Craig, you get first pick. What do you reckon your team thinks is inspiring about this podcast?
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
He's going to put Pikachu in every film that he makes from now on.
You have gone for something that happened in the last 5 minutes, trusting that human memory will go there. Fair enough.
Playing the percentages.
Can the celebrities in the audience please raise their hand for whoever went with Pikachu? Staying hard on the 0 points. Natalie, in order to win this round, you have to get 0 or more. Are you ready?
Yeah, and I think I've got it.
Please.
I think at least half of everyone here will have
gambling
thought
for
that
it. I'll give you double
James
points if you're
Gunn
right.
will have included mukbang into every single movie. And I'll tell you why. Because I think on this, I think I'm included as a celebrity, and I thought mukbang because I feel like me, Isaac, we eat, I think, every time we podcast. And people come back for that.
Fair enough. All right. He was impressed by that. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrities in the audience, please raise your hand if you got mukbang. 0 points. Congratulations. You win the tie. You win on 0. So it's a round all. I have to go to Chris for timings on this. Do I have time for a decider round here?
Yes. I'm going to agree yes. Totally yes.
In that case, we should be going to our third and final round. It's all to play for, ladies and gentlemen, here. In the last of what we're going to do, I need to pick the best one.
I think I got a point there, you know.
Oh, yeah, so it's just high scoring points here. You didn't get your double nothing, but what are you going to do? Let's pick up. Let's have, yep, that one will do. Finally, having had enough of reviewing, Craig, you haven't revealed this yet. I'm having to bring it out for you. I know you're putting it on Facebook soon, but nonetheless, I need to break it here. Finally, having had enough of reviewing, Kneel Before Blog's founder has decided to give it up and front a band. He is going to name his band Craig and the Blank. What has Craig renamed his band, please, for the most important and final round here? I'll give the celebrities a chance to get involved in this and have a quick think whilst I interview Natalie. Natalie, so I've been checking Facebook and Instagram a lot recently, and Zero G Triathlon is, of course, so very popular now, and you've been doing your 6-month training for it. How has it managed to, how have you managed to carry on with that, given your need to do a lot of aquascaping and pyrography?
I think that's a really excellent question, and I'm going to have to just say gravity.
Gravity. Gravity rules all. Better physics there for everybody in the audience. Thank you very much. The celebrities have now had their time to think, so I'll give the contestants time to think. And I need one more celebrity who doesn't mind hearing or saying or talking a bit of nonsense. That definitely brings me to Andrew. Andrew, I've saved obviously you till last because your hobbies are much more
Naturally.
involved and difficult than everybody else's. I do understand that Foxhole Drafts is actually very difficult to play. Can you tell us how you've managed to cover that in your time as a professional?
Well, actually, I'm afraid I have been advised by my lawyers that due to an ongoing controversy, I think we all know about, it is in fact something I am unable to discuss.
I didn't want to bring it up. I was hoping you would, but never mind. There it is. We can't help these things. You'll have to go back to Facebook for your gossip, ladies and gentlemen. That does bring us to the all-important Natalie giving us her answer there. Look into the minds and the hearts of the contestants, the celebrities, sorry, and please tell us, if Craig started a band, he would call it Craig and the
Nemesises.
Nemesises. That's
Or
actually on
Nemes-
topic.
Or Nemesi.
Nemesis.
Nemesises.
Nemesises. Can the celebrities please raise their hand if they have in fact chosen Nemesis is Nemesi or any variation Greek or Latin thereof? I think that's a big 0 points here, I'm afraid there. But remember, it's all to play for because Craig only has to score 0 or more to win, so he might not make it if he manages to get negative points. Craig, if you started a band, it would be Craig and the
Editors.
Editors.
Oh.
Any contestants there? Sorry, any celebrities pick
I got
editors?
it's edits.
Edits. I'm going to give him that.
That's pretty close.
Edits will give you the point. Your 1 point massively, infinitely beats 0 points. Craig, I declare you the winner, but before we can celebrate, I realized I forgot to go round the celebrities to pick out their answers, so I'm going to have to go back. Kat, what would you say Craig would have named his band?
I had Red Shirts.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, I like it. Kat, still going with this kind of logical approach to the audience, trying to read them. That's fair enough. Andrew, come to yourself. Craig and the...
I went for Kryptonians.
Craig and the Kryptonians. I can see where you went there, yeah.
Yes, because there's the alliteration, and yes, and there's also the tacit reference to the website itself.
No,
podcast.
Clever. If only I'd been that clever to think of that myself.
Really put a lot of thought into it, which I'm not sure I even did. So there we go. Never mind. Moving on to Angus, Craig, and the...
Well, in reference to one of our most popular episodes of all time, I've gone for Craig and the Megazords.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that.
That would be good. Craig, I'm thinking you're going to have to pick one of these and actually start this band now. This has to happen.
Apparently. Just all of them. I'm just going to be in all of them. I'll be like Dave Grohl, just in so many bands.
I don't want to leave Chris out though, because Chris might yet have the best. Craig and the
kitten.
Craig and the kitten. Yeah. Has the kitten actually been on stage yet? I don't even know if it's appeared.
Yeah, he's made an appearance. He is asleep on my lap at the moment. So
raise him so we can all see him.
Rudely awaken him. Just
As we all know, a kitten makes any video or podcast 10 times better just by being there. So maybe that is the right one to end on. Craig, you can now celebrate, please. You have won the first round of the 200 podcasts. Victory speech.
I still think 0.
I'm just glad that everyone was here to witness my crowning achievement of my life. I will now be going off to form all of these bands that have been suggested because all the names are great.
Very good. Well, I can now give you that. It's back to you to host.
Great. Cool. Do we have any further audience participation that we can bring in?
No idea. I barely got through that alive. What are we talking here?
Aaron, you're doing a great job.
So somebody reckons I'm drunk. Oh, that's Chris. There's a single out there. Somebody's actually given you your first single to say.
Okay.
Although I feel like it's a cover. So.
Of what?
What is it?
Born to be Wild.
Well, that is my karaoke classic.
Is it? Right.
I am not.
I want to hear that.
I am not drunk enough to do it.
Do you do karaoke? Why have we never done karaoke? Not that I do karaoke. I just mean, why have you never sang for us?
Why have I never sang for you? Just, I don't know.
Yes, well, I have a distinctive memory of your karaoke classic being the Busted song, Year 3000.
Well, that's one that I did, but no,
a great
Born to Be
choice.
Wild is my go-to. It's when I'm drunk enough, I'll do it. Which isn't right now. I haven't drank anything alcoholic today.
Well, that night you were certainly drunk enough to demand that I danced around in front of the stage while you were singing it.
Yep. And you were drunk enough to do it.
It's like
Yeah.
a night I'm glad.
thought Ace of Spades was your
recall
go-to.
this. I accept nothing.
Quite right. Plausible deniability.
Yes.
Cool. Anything else from the chat, or will we get a couple more testimonials?
I've been asked what films make you cry, and there's a reference to a film I'm afraid I've never seen, so I can't actually give you any information about it. There's something about E.T.
Okay.
Never
well,
heard of Aaron. I swear to Christ. You continue
Is that by
amaze
Stephen
and
King?
astound me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That made me cry.
E.T. did make me well up when I was much younger. Yeah, that was one of them.
I actually have a couple. One of which is like which I believe would be a fairly common answer. Is the first 4 minutes of Up, because I am human.
Yes.
But also more unusually is Wreck-It Ralph. Is like kind of a bit of the climax when when Ralph is kind of plunging to what he thinks is going to be his death, like to save Vanellope, and he's holding a little cookie heart medal that she gave him, and he's kind of reciting the bad guy creed, and that just gets to me every time, and I am not ashamed to admit it.
I'm gonna go with an obvious answer: Toy Story 3. I defy anybody to watch that and not be moved to tears. If you aren't, then you're a monster. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, but you are.
I shed a few tears in the last series of Bake Off. My favorite, my favorite Star Baker finally got their Star Baker, and they were like super happy about it. And it was quite a moment.
Yeah. Oh my God. Actually, I cried when the winner won because they made it look like something really bad had happened to his family back in Italy, and I was just waiting on that. And
that was.
And I was like, I don't know if I can handle this, but actually, that whole him setting up shop with his dad, I thought beautiful.
Oh. His dog had been hit with a quad bike for a podcast.
Seriously. I think the last film that I cried at properly might have been Cinema Paradiso, and I watched it with Gus, and I was convinced that I wasn't going to find it super emotional, and then I got to the very end, the credits were rolling, and Gus said, "And how did you find that?" And I couldn't say, I was trying to say like Bellissima, and I couldn't say it, I was just crying. So Bellissima. It was it's such a beautiful film, and it's definitely like, it's one of those old movies that kind of like, it's, I think, quite an important movie, and especially if you love movies or have worked in a cinema or both, it kind of was an unexpected charmer. Really loved it.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was my grandfather's favorite film,
Yeah?
or one
Oh.
of. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. For me, the last film to make me cry was pretty recently. Actually, was Encanto, which I watched on Disney Plus, and the ugly sobs. Good time. But I mean, probably loads, to be honest. I'm a lightweight. Like, not even, it's not hard to make me cry. Like I just, off the top of my head, like, I don't know, The Little Princess. Have you seen The Little Princess? It's a tearjerker. Great film, but yeah, I don't know. Loads.
Yeah. Gus B.
Oh, anything from Alien 3 onwards. I just wept at the thought of having to cover those.
It was when he checked the running time of AVP2 and realized he was only 10 minutes in.
Yeah. Tearjerkers.
God.
I think you found Cinema Paradiso quite emotional.
Oh yeah.
We only watched it like last week, so that's, I don't know, I feel like you liked a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little bit dusty in here.
Yeah. Okay. Any more for any more, or will we get another couple of testimonials in?
What makes Aaron cry?
Oh, don't go into anything. I'm not. Yeah. I'd have to
Death
really
of
think
Optimus
about that.
Prime in the animated Transformers movie.
I think
Death of Ultra
that film
Magnus
was
in the
more
animated
shock.
Transformers movie.
When you're sitting there and you're that young and somebody's just brutally murdering all of your favorite characters in front of you on screen in the cinema. That's me. It's more just shell shock.
Did Chris answer as well, or is he just like avoiding the question?
Chris doesn't feel anything. He's a machine.
I'm heartless. No, do you know what? Craig said Toy Story 3, and I was thinking of Jessie's song in Toy Story 2, which always kind of gets me in the feels a little bit. Obviously, and Andrew, you've already covered Up. I think the beginning of Up is fantastic, but I can't remember off the top of my head the last time. But I think I've been in one of those ridiculous emotional states during lockdown and everything that many things make me cry at the moment. So.
Aww. We need to go for another walk down the beach sometime. And cry at abandoned shopping trolleys and trolls.
Okay. Do that. That's a thing that can be done. Okay. So I believe we have 2 testimonials on the docket next. So roll it.
Love is hard, but love is always worth it because we exhibit our greatest humanity when we love. Love is often between lovers, a clash of emotions swirling together, hopefully forever. Love is often between family members, an undying understanding that you will always be there for each other. These examples we know well, but there are others we don't think about too often. Podcasting is love. I should know I've got a few of them. It can be hard work, pulling together content, finding the right guests and negotiating the time to speak with them, often across time zones. And the edit can be brutal. Love is hard, but the team at Kneel Before Pod absolutely love podcasting. The sacrifices made to create 200 episodes is not something to be ignored or taken lightly. Over time, you feel like you know them like your own friends, and their love of pop culture and nerdy things is sincerely contagious. When I listen to Kneel Before Pod, I learn, I laugh, and I definitely feel the love. So to the entire team, congratulations on this fantastic milestone, 200 episodes, just brilliant. May there be many more filled with love to come. From your friend and fan, Bo Nicholson at the We Made This Podcast Network.
Hi Craig, it's Dan Owen here from Real Talk and Other Things at the We Made This Podcast Network. Congratulations on reaching 200 episodes with Kneel Before Pod. That's a really big achievement. It's 79 episodes more than Lost Manage, 121 more episodes than the original Star Trek produced. But I'm afraid you're still 10,030 episodes behind Coronation Street. So you still got something to aim for. All the best.
So I think we've just been challenged to match Coronation Street.
Wow.
No, thank you.
That is what they're
At least
thinking about.
it's not as long running as the Archers, so at least they didn't challenge us with the Archers, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be when we hit 300. Be like,
Does
"Now do
anyone
the
else
Archers."
have Love Lifts Us Up Where We Belong in their head after listening to Bo Nicholson talking
Yeah.
about love so much?
Well,
now I do.
That's in my head. And I also feel like, I don't know about you, but like right there, I felt like I was in, do you know, like in Eurovision when they go to like different countries. And I was like looking at everyone's like responses to like a narrator, like the narrator or something. And I was like, oh my God, we're like Eurovision.
When I was editing the video last night, I messaged Craig and I said it was like one of the preambles in a really big Oscars category, you know, where they go into the visual arts and the amount of love that gets put onto screen and the hours that are spent over frame by frame, and that's what I had in my head, and then it gets ruined by the fact that it's a dedication to us.
Sound design is love.
Yeah. So funny you should mention that. Bo hosts a podcast called Academy Watch where he talks about awards contenders. So I was on the first
Maybe
episode
that's
of
where he
that with
gets
him.
his inspiration.
Yeah, I was on the first episode of that with him talking about Tick Tick Boom, and we really dug in. It was a really good chat. So that is out there for listening if you want to listen to it.
Is Tick Tick Boom the one with Andrew Garfield?
It is.
Yeah. So he has to have had like one of the best comebacks, right? In like years.
Well, I don't think he
feel
ever went
like-
away. So
I feel like he did. I feel like I only saw him in the one thing and that was it. And now
well,
I'm
no,
like,
he
oh,
did.
he's in
He did a lot of
everything.
indie stuff you might not have seen. He did things when he did that Scorsese film Silence. He was in
Well,
that
there's-
Mel Gibson film Hacksaw Ridge.
There's
was
one that's
in
on Mubi at the moment,
some other
which
stuff.
I'm wanting to watch. That's all I've got. I can't remember the name of it.
He's
Yeah,
been
it
quite
does-
prolific, just not in huge films. I think he made his Spider-Man money and decided, I'm just going to do these tiny little films. And then Tick, Tick, Boom.
We've all been there.
He's like, I can have sticky up hair. I'll be this Jonathan Larson guy.
I just want to say that I very much enjoyed the latest Spider-Man, and so I'm here for the Andrew Garfield comeback, which feels like a comeback.
Cool. Okay. We're moving on to another game. We're going to go over to Andrew, who's going to take the lead on this one.
All
He
right,
has
yes.
some trivia for us to mull over. So how is this going to work and what are we doing?
Right, yeah. So, okay. So these are some things taken from a from a film game that I got in Secret Santa at work in December. Okay. So I've got two parts of it. The first one is just a bunch of general trivia questions, and the other one is ones where I'll be reading out lines of dialogue from films, and I have to guess what character was it that said them, and because I did not think this through at all, I think
I'm on board for that style of planning. That's what I did.
Right. The scoring will work is that people will shout out their names as buzzers, and whoever gets there first gets to answer the question first, and hopefully it won't be as chaotic as I am terrified it actually will be. Okay, so first off is just the trivia questions. Okay, so first off, what animal does Merida's mum turn into in Pixar's Brave?
Bear. She is a bear.
Go to Bear for this answer.
Yes.
Can I buzz in with my answer now?
No, it was Natalie Bear. I raised my hand.
Yes, I will allow it.
Shocking.
Ding. Okay, I'm gonna take Mark because I'm gonna take this seriously.
I should have had buzzer noises. I didn't bring in buzzer noises. Damn. That would have been good.
I could edit them in later, but I won't.
Episode 300, we'll have buzzers.
Okay, so in the Disney movie Aladdin, what was the name of Aladdin's primate companion?
Yeah,
Abu,
Iago.
Buzz, Craig.
Abu.
Yeah. I think I got in there first. His name is Abu.
It's correct.
I think I got in there first.
Did you though?
Yeah.
Did you know?
I think I did.
Well, I disagree, and I'm in charge. So there you go.
Can't argue with that.
Okay, so in 2020, what became the first foreign language movie to win Best Picture at the Oscars?
Buzz, Natalie, Parasite.
Correct.
And yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
I was gonna say, like, there's yeah. Cool, thanks.
So in what year was the first Twilight movie released?
Buzz,
Buzz.
Your girlfriend, woof.
That's my buzzer, sorry.
2007.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go. My second buzz is 2008.
Correct.
Hey.
Dang it. It's probably filmed in 2007.
Was that the
question was released.
Okay, so just a reminder: if people could shout out their names rather than saying Buzz, it'll make it easier for me to hear through the noise.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I understand your excitement.
Natalie is short for Buzz. So.
Buzz is short for Natalie.
No, he was right the first time. Natalie's short for Buzz.
Right, so in the first Back to the Future movie, how many years into the past did Marty McFly travel?
Aaron.
Buzz, Natalie.
Yep.
Aaron was first.
30.
Sorry?
30 years.
Correct. Right.
It's actually funny, like people sing their names. So
We're like Pokemon.
Right. In the Hunger Games movies, what district is Katniss Everdeen from?
Cat.
Yes.
Number 12.
Yes.
Yes. I just rewatched them recently, so it's fresh in the brain.
District 9.
I was going to go with 9. I was like, 9. There's a District 9. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, there is a District 9, but
that's a whole other thing.
I was going to go District 5, but that's from Mighty Ducks. Damn.
Right. Okay, so which animated movie contains the characters Rocky the Rooster and Ginger the Chicken?
Oh, Isaac.
Isaac?
Chicken Run.
Yes.
We just talked about it the other day.
We talked about Chicken Run the other day.
We did.
Right. In the Bond movie Die Another Day, who played the principal Bond girl?
Isaac. Craig Halle Berry.
Okay. I actually think Isaac was there first.
Well, I was going to say Halle Berry as well.
it.
It's Halle Berry playing Triple X in Die Another Day.
Right. Okay, so based on the 80s TV show, which movie sees two cops go undercover at high school to bring down a drug ring?
Gus.
Yes.
21 Jump Street.
Correct.
Gus gets a point.
Okay, and a nice easy one to finish off with. Okay. Which superhero has another identity of Steve Rogers?
Craig, Captain America.
Yeah. Yep. So at the end of the trivia portion of the round, okay, so Isaac is leading with 3. Hey, and joint second is Natalie and Kat with 2. Joint third is Aaron and Angus with 1.
Nice.
And losing is Craig with 0.
Oh, that's
I got 1. I got the Captain America one.
Oh wait, sorry. No, sorry. I put a tally mark next to the wrong name. Sorry.
I thought I was losing with 0.
Yeah, sorry. I've got very bad writing, and in my bad writing, Craig and Chris look very similar.
I demand an independent inquiry that then the police will get involved in, so that we won't get to see the full results of.
Sue, Craig's wanting an inquiry. Can you come through? He's on our way.
We just won't ask why Chris has Sue Gray in his house.
Does anybody else, when they hear Sue Gray, think that it's like her stage name? It's
It
one
was
name, Sue Gray, and she's just going to come on and sing. No?
She's going to sing about justice and parties. Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted by Spock.
All right, yeah, he's around.
Okay. So next is like the lines of dialogue section. And so just a reminder, I'll be reading out lines of dialogue, and also using very questionable impressions. And,
oh God.
And to tell me what character what character said them.
All right.
So first off, why is the rum always gone?
Aaron.
Jack Sparrow.
Where's the what?
Sorry, I forgot we were doing the buzzer thing.
I was going to say. good old Captain Sparrow.
But yes, Cat was correct. It's like Jack Sparrow from Dead Man's Chest.
Oh, sorry.
Apologies, I
Aaron.
stole that from you.
Craig back down to 0 points.
Story of my life.
Okay. As if.
Clueless.
Oh.
Me. Cher from
That'll-
Clueless.
that'll- Yes, correct.
Thanks.
Okay. That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
Me.
Shrek.
I don't know what the rules are.
Me
I don't
singing.
think there are rules.
There are no rules.
The rules are there are no rules.
Yes,
Thunderbone.
okay, another one for Craig.
Man.
I thought you were going to
Hell,
like
this
cheat
is
there and be like, it's Shrek
ridiculous.
2, actually. You don't get a point. But yeah.
What was the character actually? Right?
Okay, so next, yes, we get the warhead and we hold the world ransom for $1 million.
Natalie.
Go that way.
Austin Powers. No, the mini guy.
I need character name.
Dr. Robotnik.
What about Sonic the Hedgehog? Anyone else?
Isaac.
Isaac.
Dr.
Gus
Evil.
said Gus. Gus said Gus. And
Speaking
sorry,
first doesn't get you the point in
I
this.
didn't hear
I
Gus.
failed on that twice already.
All right.
What else is? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I need
That's what makes it good.
light buzzers.
Yeah, so I feel the need for speed.
Gus.
Yes.
Maverick from Top Gun.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now we have Mom says, stupid is as stupid does.
Aaron. Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Sorry, I feel like I take competitions really seriously.
So life finds a way.
Cat. Oh no,
Okay.
shit. I know the movie. I don't remember.
Here the
His
character.
character's name.
Craig, it is Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Wow.
It says
Fair and Square. That one.
Yeah, just sniped it.
Oh, come.
I feel like on QI when they do the buzzer, and it's usually Alan or something like buzzing in and then being like, oh no, wait, actually I'm not sure. That's the mood. That's the energy I bring to this game.
Maybe we should all have a sound like they have for our buzzers. Instead of saying a name, we should just make that noise. It'll be very recognizable.
But like we did during the Christmas one.
Is that really?
Yes, but
Yeah,
the,
like going,
yes,
me,
yeah, but
me.
the problem with that would be that I'd have to keep track of who makes what noise, and I can't be bothered.
Someone take a note for episode
That's just too much
300.
effort.
There is an online one that you can get that then displays who's buzzed first on a timer that you can get and you can tie in.
That's for episode
if I
300.
was if I was like organised and whatnot for quizzes.
What is this? A center for ants? How could we be expected to teach children to learn to read if they can't even fit inside the
Natalie.
building?
Zoolander.
Yes, Natalie.
What a guy.
Great impression, by the way.
Tip top. Yeah.
Oh, Hannah means funny. Funny means
Cat,
but I won't
cat,
forget.
cat. It's Stitch.
Yes, it's Stitch.
Family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
That's the one.
Yeah. It's little and broken, but still good. Still good.
I love that movie a lot.
Who doesn't?
Loads of
Never
people
seen it,
apparently.
actually.
Oh man, oh it's so good.
Mm.
And now having flex been to Hawaii, it's very accurate actually as to like what life is like there. Like like I've been watching it for like 15 years being like, ah man, I don't know, they make some stuff up, but like no, it's like yeah.
Are there lots of Elvis quoting and singing aliens?
Yes, obviously.
Cool. Okay.
And many mosquitoes. Not that many mosquitoes, actually. Surprising.
So Spock update. He's found his way into my desk from behind it because it's open at the back. All I saw were these two little eyes peering out from the gap at the top of the door, which was quite adorable.
He is too cute.
Okay, so final question. Okay, so dishonor on your whole family. Make it do this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Natalie.
Natalie.
Mushu from Milan.
It was, yes.
Yes.
And with that, Natalie wins with 5.
And finally, whoop 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 whoop.
Hang on, where's the applause? Where's the applause? There it is.
Well done. Well done.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
I work hard for my money.
And in second was Kat and Isaac, both with 4. Then Craig with 3. Then Aaron and Angus with 2. And Chris still with 0.
Chris!
Victory!
Chris to Chris. Chris to Chris.
Chris is the proud owner of the participation trophy on every game we've ever played.
It's a protest. It's a protest.
I'm just
Cool.
spending
Well,
my
thanks.
time trying to click round the videos to get the right person as the answer, but always cutting to them after they've answered was pretty much my thing. For anyone that was watching the live stream, there was every time someone answered, it was too late, and I just cut to them staring at the screen.
Well, in your defence, I did actually envision people waiting on me to call on them before actually answering, but apparently everyone's just too eager.
We're just too eager. That's what it is. But thanks for that game. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. I was expecting a complete horror show.
I mean, it was, but that was so good. Aaron, do we have any more from the chat?
There's some love for Spock, if
Ah,
that's what you're
Yes.
so cute.
Good.
Natalie, what?
No
are you,
questions, though.
What's the new food? Chrissy's question from not Twitch.
Family's wafers. They're like 80p. You get them in the Polish section, and they're yummy, and they feel like you're eating air, but flavorful.
Are they hazelnutty?
These ones are hazelnutty, but I've just finished the
Nice.
chocolate cream ones.
This podcast is brought to you by whatever those are.
Monogramdoorknobs.com.
I should have the
Mm-hmm.
sponsor strap somewhere for the monogrammed door handles. Yeah.
Every monogram doorknob you buy comes with those biscuits that feel like you're eating air, but with flavor.
They're pretty
Okay,
good.
if there's no more from the audience, let us go with the next testimonials. We have 2 more queued up for the next bit.
Hey, it's Ian Buckley from The Way, and we are Starfleet over on the We Made This network, and I just wanted to say congratulations on 200 episodes, Craig. You're awesome. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Have a great time tonight. Cheers.
Hello, Craig. A major congratulations on your 200th episode. I still have no idea how Twitch works or what it does, but I'm so happy to contribute. My name is Mike Slamer, and I am coming to you from across the pond from a little place called New York City. Craig, you've been my guest on my Star Trek podcast called We Are Starfleet, and I've been your guest on your podcasts, also chatting Star Trek. And over the past 2 years, and wow, man, I actually can't believe it's been 2 years of working together in arts, media, entertainment, I have to say I'm truly impressed with your analytical ability to pick apart things in TV shows and movies that honestly fly over my head. I'm very glad to call you a colleague. I'm always consistently impressed with the level of output of your work. I can feel that you're killing it out there. And happy wishes on your 200th. And once we get to episode 400, I hope I have more to say, man. Best of luck to you. Cheers.
Cool.
That's so sweet.
Well, thank you, guys. Yeah. We've lost Isaac. He has disappeared,
Oh.
which is unfortunate because he is leading the next game. There he is. He's back.
3-1. He is back in the room.
He's back in the
I got
room.
myself some lemonade.
Good. Okay. Well, Isaac, you're up next with our next game, which is a bit of a survival debate that we're going to have. So why don't you take it away, explain the game, and we will see what we come up with.
Exactly. So while we've been recording this, we've been in a spaceship heading to the Planet Podcast to release the podcast. But unfortunately, technical issues have meant that we are now stranded somewhere between Earth and Podcast Planet. And resources, the biscuits, the lemonade, are quickly running out. The only chance of us all surviving, only one chance of us surviving, one of us has to be ejected into space. So we've all picked, or hopefully we've all picked, a fictional character that will go around the room in a minute, introducing ourselves. And then each of us will have 1 minute to explain why we need to stay on that ship and make it to the planet. And at the end, we'll all do a vote. And whoever is the unlucky person that we gets the least amount of votes, I'm afraid they're gone forever. So, hello, I'm going to be Poe Dameron, who you'll know from sequel trilogy and Star Wars. And Craig, who are you going to be today?
I'm going to be Lionel Luthor, circa seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Smallville, when he was at his most evil. But it's okay that he's evil because, as the fans dubbed him, he is the magnificent bastard. Everyone loves it when he just starts monologuing, and you just can't help but root for the guy. So that's who I'm going to be.
Lovely. Chris?
I am Rocket Raccoon, known as one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, a fantastic engineer who would be very useful on your faulty shuttlecraft, just saying. Albeit slightly snarky.
Lovely. Aaron?
I am Gadget Hack Wrench from Rescue Rangers, the mouse pilot, mechanic, and inventor who not only is skilled at all the action and all the inventing, but was also the moral compass of her group.
Lovely. Natalie?
Oh, sorry. Not me.
Oh, Gus, whoever wants to go first. The guy.
You go.
All right, I'll
Someone
go first. I'm representing Ellen Ripley from the Aliens era of her career. I'm just going to rattle off a few things from her CV, give you some ideas about why she should be a useful crew member. She's got experience handling heavy machinery, experience with long periods of hypersleep, if that's going to be important. She's got hand-to-tentacle combat, experience with firearms, very improvisational when it comes to weaponry. Not averse to drastic action. If we need to nuke something, she will be up for that. She's got a strong maternal instinct, as we all know. She's willing to stand up to corporate meddling, and crucially, she's got experience with airlocks as well. So, yeah, Ellen Ripley.
Lovely. Natalie, who are you going to be?
I am going to be bringing along Space Ghost.
Okay. Yeah, Space Ghost. What's Space Ghost from?
Space Ghost is from Space Ghost. The
And Space Ghost Coast to Coast, of course,
animation,
the talk
animation series, and he has a strong jaw like Batman, and it's pretty funny. He has a lot of quips. I do have notes. I don't know if I want to reveal all of these to you right now, or
No, it's good to save it for the debate.
I'm gonna save some things for later. And it's interesting that none of you've heard of him, because when I googled earlier, what are the top 10 most important super people, Space Ghost was in that list. So I feel like everyone should know who he is.
Yep, Andrew.
Okay, so I am going to be Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars. most specifically from the Clone Wars. As I said, I'm the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. I'm an accomplished warrior. As a developing leader, and a snarky teenage girl.
Lovely. And Kat.
I am Gandalf the White. I come to you in your hour of need. I am a wizard. I can get shit done. I can get us help. Probably. I don't know. We can try it. What's Gondor gonna do? We're just gonna have to like light the beacons in space and see if Space Gondor will answer. Yes.
Okay, so we have our team.
Well,
So
do we have who's Chris?
Chris did explain who he was.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket
Oh, yeah.
Raccoon.
It's one mark against
Sorry,
Space
Chris.
Ghost.
So when we'll go around the gang and sort of give our pledge of why we should be kept in the ship. Good things to think about is not only why you're important right now, but why you're important for the future. Like when we get to the Planet Podcast, like what good can you bring to humanity? What else can you everything. Like why do you deserve not to get thrown out into space? So I'm going to start as Poe Dameron. Obviously, we are a lot of pilots on the ship, but as my boyfriend Finn says, I am one hell of a pilot. So that's very important. I have a lovely jacket. I've sometimes don't, go against the admirals, but it's all about. I've got more of a heart. I think about like what I think is right, is what I should be doing, and I think I should be survive. So I'm going to go down that thingy. I've led some mighty battles. Got all those ships in the last movie, like, and they all flew in, and it was really cool. That's on me. So that was good. I'm a good with the people of the world. So I think I'm a good inspiration to others, and I think I'm a very valuable person to be on both this ship and also continue in the future. Okay. So Lionel Richie / Luther.
Richie. Those are very different people. Yes. So Lionel Luther, he will, or I will, not really do much good for anybody, but he is, or I am, very persuasive, very, very connected, very rich, very influential. I can make things very comfortable for you, or thinly veil a threat as to what will happen if you don't save me. I have powerful friends, or powerful people that I pretend are my friends. They will come after you if you kill me. But if you let me survive, good things will start happening in your life.
Are they on the shuttle, your friends? Because if they're not,
No, they'll come after you when the shuttle docks or is
Then
rescued.
they can come after you, and also I don't think your money's good here.
Well, my money's very good everywhere. Don't you worry about that.
Hey, any more questions for Lionel?
Also, magnificent hair. I have magnificent hair. So
I feel like we know.
you know nothing
right
about
now.
magnificent hair.
You all have magnificent hair. That's why we're on the ship.
I feel like we know right now who's going.
We never know. Let's find out what Rocket Raccoon has to say. What's their pledge for life?
Rocket Raccoon, fantastic engineer, possibly able to fix the craft, and definitely able to improvise once we get to Planet Podcast. Has learned a little bit about music and stuff, so might be able to entertain the crew along the way. Very good with some snarky comments, and able to definitely fight back if there's any problems once we get to Planet Podcast, or if anyone tries to board us on our way to Planet Podcast, I would say. What else? What's his other skill set? Trying to think. But yeah, I think definitely useful to have an engineer on a faulty ship.
Lovely. So next is Aaron. I can't remember his gadget. Richie.
So you've already decided to space me. Fair enough. Yeah, I won't even bother learning that woman's name. I would just say that somebody in chat has challenged Lionel, saying in Smallville days, hair not that good.
What? Who was this?
Right, that's it. I'm voting already.
I feel I don't want
Okay,
to
we can
incriminate people
we can
here.
throw them
I
out
vote
the
to
airlock
space
as
the
well.
chat.
We'll have to throw someone else out.
How can anybody say that about Lionel's hair circa seasons 1 through 3? Jeez.
So speaking of good hair, somebody who has the best hair is obviously Gadget Hack Wrench, but more important to that, she can pilot the shuttle, she is the mechanic, and she is the inventor. She can create anything out of anything. If you are having trouble with absolutely anything at all, she can make it out of junk. If you got any junk, I can turn it into whatever you need. Do you need a key? I can even use my tail as a lockpick. I have
Wow.
total access to hammer space. If you need something, I can pull it. Even from the famous red dress, there was space. I could just pull anything you want out of that. That's fine. I have my own ride at Disneyland. I'm actually worshipped as a goddess by a small Russian cult, by the way. I looked this up. That
Yes.
really freaked me out, but there are actually people that worship Gadget Hack Wrench. But why wouldn't they? Because she is from the 80s, a strong female lead. She was with 3 or 4 guys. She got herself out of danger. She didn't need these idiots to save her. In fact, they got into trouble. I mean, Chip and Dale, they were rubbish. She had to get them out of danger. She was a one-woman army. She could create little suction cup crossbows. She had a mouse-sized war machine, and as I've said, one of her key points is she is the heart of her group. When they're coming up against any of the bad guys, she did not resort to violence. She was the first to try and talk the bad guy down, change their perspective. Sir, I can solve all of your equipment worries. I can fix anything. I can be the heart of the group and keep everybody on the right track. My tail is a lockpick. What else can you mean? I am virtually a mouse-sized Batwoman.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
nothing Gadget cannot
You're not
do.
going to eat that much. You're not going to take up too much of the resources. It sounds like you'd give us a lot. You had, to be honest, you had me at Rescuers Down Under. So.
Oh,
not
and
one
one
to-
thing,
on?
one of the most important things that Gadget ever did was the Rescue Rangers solve the little street level crimes that nobody gets to. When a little girl lost her kitten, the police would not help. Who
my
did that little
God.
girl have to turn to? Gadget and the Rescue Rangers. If
Oh,
Spock was in trouble.
mouse.
ACAB.
Yeah.
I mean, not wanting to argue against any of my fellow talking animals or anything like that, but you just made a convincing argument that you're able to pull anything from anywhere and create anything. Why are you refusing to help the crew at the moment and wanting to space one of us instead of giving one of us a spacesuit? It seems this is a very evil thing that you're doing.
Out of this spacing. That's me. I'm the one trying to stop the spacing, but there's some random guy here trying to do it. It's a voice from beyond. I'll keep trying to talk him down, I promise.
Yeah. Right. Space Ghost, what's your
Yeah.
reasonings for staying alive?
I think Space Ghost is pretty cool.
What's the talk show?
I think for the 7-minute long episodes that you get, a lot of action is jam-packed into that. Space Ghost not only is wearing like a wonderful white jumpsuit, but has also dealt with a lot of really gnarly enemies. He's dealt with space sharks. He's dealt with space gorillas who wanted to colonize planets. He's dealt with space robots, space zombies, and that's just in the like first 3 episodes that I watched on YouTube today. Now here's has hilarious quips. He's also there's one episode 2, where he says that he is so strong and so brilliant because he's pure of heart. Apparently he was bestowed the strength of 10 men because he's pure of heart. And I think that you need somebody who's going to be pure of heart and has the right motives for wanting to prosper and create a really harmonious new place, I guess, when we get to planet podcast if it's indeed a new planet. I mean, why are we going there?
It's where all podcasts go to get. We're taking the podcast along with us to release it into the wild.
Okay.
That's how all
right,
podcasts
okay.
get released.
So we're
It's time for it to go to the farm.
So we're taking something to a different environment.
Well, it's to its natural environment.
Right, okay. So it's right.
Are we going to find that this planet that we're going to is colonized by the space apes, in which case it's
Maybe.
Planet of the Apes?
Maybe. Also, Space Ghost has really great planetary knowledge. Also in episode 2, he had to help locate a great wizard who needed to get to Omicron. So he has experience with Omicron, which I think is pretty important at the moment. And he has really good pals. He's pals with somebody called Electra, and she speaks Spanish. So I think that's also really great. And she has telekinesis, and she seems to be able to appear at any time. So I think she could be like an ally when we get to Planet Podcast.
Lovely. Okay,
So-
Ellen Ripley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Space Ghost.
Great. Ripley, so I've already given you the long list of skills from the CV, but I'd like to tell you a little more about Ripley as a person. As an ex-warrant officer, she's provided that link between enlisted members of the crew and more higher senior officers. So, you know, I know there's going to be a bit of a hierarchy on this shuttle. I can be that go-between. You know, I'm used to being in that position. We all know space travel these days is all about corporations like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Weyland-Yutani. These people are the ones going up there into space, putting vast quantities of credits into space travel. And I won't put up with any of that bullshit. BS, should I say? You know, I've got a proven track record of dealing with these types, so I know all about modern space travel. I'm a proven survivor, having dealt with morphs of all kinds, mighty morphs, xenomorphs, and otherwise. And I think, lastly, if anyone's going out of an airlock, it's going to be me hitting the button. So there you go.
Lovely. So, Ahsoka Tano, why should you survive?
Right. Okay. Well, first and foremost, I am an accomplished warrior, so I can deal with any security threats that may arise on the ship itself, from being boarded by any nasty alien life, or indeed on the Planet Podcast itself. Should the resident simian life form prove to be uncooperative, I can also deal with them. I come with my own equipment in a nifty pair of lightsabers, which also function as tools due to their ability to cut through absolutely anything. I have a very strong sense of morality, which I have displayed on numerous occasions, and often find solutions to problems that people with a more rigid worldview might not even consider. As I have an understanding of a plethora of alien life forms and the best ways of interacting with them and dealing with them. As I am trustworthy, I am reliable, and I can adjust my I can utilize various aspects of my skill set to deal with whatever problem or situation might arise.
But now, hey, finally, Gandalf the White. What's your purpose for surviving?
I mean, first of all, I arguably have the best hair in the crew. Don't at me. I came back from the dead, and I've already died once, and the biggest makeover was luscious locks. So that's number one. The other reason is I am magical. I am technically a god and can influence things around me. I have a sense of everybody's destiny, including my own, and I have to say my time is not done. I am still needed. And I have a sense of who is not needed, but I will not say yet. I have previously saved Rohan. I have previously saved Rohan and Gondor, and by extension, Middle-earth itself. And I just, I know things. And I am the life of the party. I'm pretty fun to be around, I will say. So you want Gandalf on your podcast, I think. I think it's a zazzy presence to have. I'm moving my laptop and therefore my camera is wobbling. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, like you want one of the saviors of Middle-earth on your side. You want me around.
Does Gandalf still smoke?
Oh yeah.
Okay, no.
Oh yeah. What do you think he does half the time? Oh my god. It's the one vice I cannot quit. I came back from the dead, but still gotta love that Shire leaf.
You guys, think about what that's going to do to the oxygen supplies.
I mean, I'm not going to do that now. Are you crazy? We're in space. Even I know that that's not a good idea.
We did set up a special smoking room, so that's all separate. That's all fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
for that.
I'm
Really
beginning
appreciate
to think you just want to space us all, Poe. There doesn't seem to be much reasoning here.
Poe enjoys the quiet. It's just going to get rid of us all.
Where's the quiet?
Actually,
What's space in my jackets?
I think that smoking room is the
airlock.
Right this way.
I mean, that's the place to do it. But I won't fall for cheap shenanigans.
Of course.
So yeah.
Surely if you die, you'll just come back again.
No, I think we only get the one return trip. Even that was not guaranteed. I was pretty sure I was a goner. And then for some reason I was not a goner. So
That's Gandalf the Tartan.
counting my blessings here. And I would really like to not die again. Thanks.
Yeah,
I have a theory that Gandalf, not being very aware of space travel, may have opened a window while he was having a smoke at the airlock. Maybe the root of our life support issues.
Anyone got any questions for any of the crew, or want to challenge them or anything?
Why are you looking at me?
Space Ghost, can you survive in the cold depths of space?
Have you been reading my notes?
No, just asking.
You've been
Can anyone else here survive in the cold depths of space?
I feel like Aaron's mouse person could. Apparently, they can do anything.
Could she? I mean,
could she make?
She still needs to breathe.
Bubble? Like a little bubble around her. Can she produce air? Can she take plants? Can she make plants that produce air and then
in space?
Can
produce
you
a little space suit?
Specifically survive in space.
Spacesuit, yeah,
Space
plants.
I don't know why we're maybe bringing Ripley along when danger and trouble seems to perpetually follow her.
I think the same could probably be said for a lot of us here.
Not Space Ghost.
Let he without sin cast the first stone. That's all I'm saying.
Space Ghost.
Looking at you, like Lionel Luther.
Hey,
So,
Lionel
I
Luther
mean-
is very well organized. He stays
I-
away from danger.
I do think Lionel Luther has to be the one that we evacuate from the ship because we don't we're gonna a planet where we don't have to take the same capitalistic regimes that we've implemented here.
I can get on board with that.
We don't have to take
But
that.
we need sponsors for the podcast though.
Yeah, and
Luther
Planet
Corp
Podcast-
is a pretty big sponsor, I will say.
Like I
Planet
said,
Podcast does have access to Spotify, iTunes, Castbox.
Nice.
It's all big business down there. So
why are we going there? Can't we go somewhere else?
No, that's where the podcasts are. Sorry.
that's where the podcasts are. There's not many planets in this area.
No
of space.
prison planets we can crash land on.
Yeah, so we're just
Nothing.
basically buying into more corporate bull pie.
That's the
Why do we
plan.
need to do that?
Don't hate the player, hate the game, or hate the game.
I'm hating the game and the player. I think.
If you can't beat them, join them. I don't know. Another cliche.
Ahsoka, doesn't your master, and I think you have also got experience landing crashing spaceships? I think. Did Ahsoka land a crashing spaceship in the last Clone Wars?
Well, everyone except her died, so I wouldn't. go with that.
Strong
true.
qualification.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's just another example of my improvisational skills. That's that even in the deadliest and most dire situations, I can still find a solution.
Nice. Do you know that Space Ghost can go invisible? So even if you wanted to kick me out, I'm not saying that you would choose me over anyone else anyway, but if you did, you physically would not be able to.
All we have to do is throw paint around until we hit you, though, and then you become
No.
visible again.
I'm invisible. And who has paint in space? Why would
But
we
Gadget
waste a
does.
resource on that?
Big Gadget's got paint.
Yeah, this size. Good luck.
Those of you that
Not sure
are
why I'd get
animals,
involved in actively hunting people down there. That sounds a bit mean.
those of you that are animals, I am willing to share a hypersleep chamber with you. And if anyone else likes being tucked in at night, I can do that too because that's just my jam.
Thank you.
Where's your cat?
Jonesy.
Mm-hmm.
Jonesy.
So now we've got Jonesy as well.
Yeah.
Jonesy might go after Gadget.
So all this precious oxygen being taken up by
Mhm.
Stowaway.
I'm just saying, Jonesy might go after Gadget, and then what do we do?
Oh, we've already no. Jonesy and Spock are both in like the cat bit in the little boxes. That's all fine. This is
Thank
only
you.
our
Thank
bit. It's
you.
only our part of the ship that's in trouble. So
Okay.
cats are all good.
Okay.
Any other questions for anybody? It's getting close to it's getting close to critical. So, or do you want to move on to voting off?
I think we have to make a decision here.
So can
I
we
would
look
just say
at?
that chat has relented and is prepared to acknowledge the brilliance of Lionel's hair.
There we go. There we go. I knew
That's
it.
it decided.
I knew
I
the
think
see the
that-
light.
I think that we need to look at who's magical or has superpowers and who doesn't have superpowers. Because Gadget, Space Ghost, and Gandalf all have magic powers, and I think would be more superior in terms of being able to help.
Yes. Well, and yes, and I have force powers, which is basically magic.
Right, okay, you're on board.
I hate to
That's
say this, but
perfect.
Space Ghost, you are alienating yourself.
Lionel has lots of money, which is in itself
That doesn't
magical.
count. That doesn't count. That is like the worst thing.
I mean,
I think Lex
point,
has to go.
unfortunately.
Okay.
You can't
Is it
change your
voting
mind.
time?
Yeah, Lex.
Okay, let's all go around the group and everyone say who you want to vote out from the ship. I'll start. Yeah, Lionel Luther. Even if there wasn't a crash, we'd probably still eject you from the ship.
Wow, brutal.
Okay, Lionel, who you voting out?
I'm going to go for Space Ghost. I just don't like the cut of his jib.
So that's one for Space Ghost. Rocket Raccoon. I don't know what's happening with my camera.
Yeah, what's going on over
Freaking
there?
out.
It's critical.
You're strobing. Yeah,
It's
that's
critical.
it. Life support is definitely failing over there. Yeah.
Draining power.
Now, while Rocket would probably like Lionel's money, I imagine there's a good bounty on Lionel Luthor, so I think Rocket would vent into space Lionel.
Don't you need to bring him in alive, though, to get the bounty?
Yeah, we can hook him
cold.
back in afterwards. He's freeze-dried that way. All the expense of carbonite and everything, you can just send him out the airlock.
So you voted for Lionel Luthor. Lovely. So I'm just plugging in my iPad, which is a bit low on battery. Okay,
Looking good for a little Lionel.
Gadget, who are you voting for to eject into space?
I'm afraid his declaration that he is evil and intends to stay so and make our life hell in the new world means I pretty much have to go for Lionel.
That's another one for Lionel. Is anyone not voting for Lionel? Let's find out. Space Ghost, who are you ejecting into space?
Second that emotion. Lionel. That's what that was. It was a vote for Lionel.
Lovely. So it's 4 for Lionel.
Thanks.
Ahsoka.
Lionel is second-hand emotion.
Well, no, it's a second-handing emotioning what Aaron said. Thanks.
Well, I'm not convinced. Just how much use a talk show host would be on Planet Podcast, and I don't really know how much we can actually trust somebody who apparently appropriated their primary superpower from Sir Galahad of the Round Table.
Rumbled.
Ooh. So I'm voting for Space Ghost.
What?
Hey, that's 2 for Space Ghost.
I didn't even know who you were talking about because I literally saw 3 episodes today.
No.
And Gandalf, who are you voting for to eject into space?
I will plead ignorance as to who the hell Space Ghost is and vote
why
for
you're kicking
Space
me?
Ghost.
He's
the
in
button
the
on
top,
Space Ghost.
guys, he's in the top 10
Since
most
whomst?
important.
Since whomst will say this.
Hey,
The internet top 10.
I call
Natalie's
shenanigans.
superhero ranking.
I don't know.
in
I don't know
space.
who's saying this.
Space
I
Ghost.
am not convinced
Space
of
Ghost.
your
Citation needed.
usefulness. Yes, citation absolutely needed.
I'm pure of
so
heart.
yes.
Why would you kick somebody pure of heart out? They would
Listen,
only
I
have
love
your
you as a
best
person.
intentions.
I love you as a person, but we need that sponsor money. So no.
And I've missed
Bye, sorry.
Ellen Ripley. Ellen, who are you going to eject into space?
Yeah, I'm feeling the tide turning on Space Ghost here. I'm not getting a great feeling about Space Ghost.
Why are you not getting a great feeling about the pure of
But-
heart space
But
ghost?
if you'll let me finish, Space Ghost, don't go on any further. I'm getting a real Carter J. Burke vibe off of Lionel, so I can't in good faith bring someone along who's likely to take any discoveries we make and try and turn them into profit, possibly putting us all at risk. So Lionel.
And with 5 votes, Lionel Luthor, I'm going to shoot you with this regular gun and eject you into space. But fortunately, this LexCorp ship should land us into the thingy. I'm sure you have no backup plans in case this happened.
Yeah.
So the rest of us, well done. Well done to hopefully making it to the Planet Podcast where we can continue successful podcasters.
Yay!
Lionel, good best of luck in the empty abyss. And well done, everyone. Well done for surviving.
Thanks.
Thank
And
you.
if you do want to claim that bounty, I can breathe in space. I can go and get one.
Thanks.
I told you.
Cheers, pal.
Real bad feeling about Space Ghost.
You chose poorly. I'm just saying, everyone chose poorly. Except, well, everybody that chose Lionel chose poorly. But yes.
I'm being serious. Check out Space Ghost. Top 10. Top 10. And he has like this great, like, you'll have to listen to it, but every episode he announces himself. Yeah, at the start and end of each episode.
Lionel got lucky. He doesn't have to listen to everyone. He doesn't have to listen to Space Ghost's shameless self-promotion for the rest of the trip.
Top 10.
Okay. Great game, Isaac. Thank you very much.
No
Do you
worries.
have any further audience things? Otherwise, we can play another testimonial.
I'm afraid people have gotten fed up talking about Lionel. They've just got to know more about him. So
Anything about anything else in general? Or-
no.
No.
There was a pitch to add Grogu, and that Grogu would have survived.
Oh, I shot that down straight away because I said it was totally unfair. Nobody would space Grogu.
I bet Lionel would
Small
have.
baby. Protect the small baby.
If it served his interests, it would have. Yeah. Okay, so our next testimonial, I believe, is a video. Someone sent us a video.
Ooh.
And say,
Hey there, happy 200th episode for Kneel Before Blog. This is Thomas Nicholson. I was fortunate enough to be invited onto the podcast where we talked about, among other things, playing David Bowie on Legends of Tomorrow. And we also discussed a couple of the favorite shows of the podcast that I was fortunate enough to be in. So that's one of the 200 episodes that you can check out. So let's celebrate. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
yes.
Let's dance.
That's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah, he played David Bowie on Legends of Tomorrow. That's why he sang. So good on.
That was quite
That was
nice.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
nice
my-
guy.
yeah,
Very nice guy.
My favorite so far, it might just be because there was a video and I'm a visual person.
Okay. Now our next game
that was really
is
nice.
the return of a favorite. We did this on the 100th episode and everybody loved it. So we made Chris do more work and he's going to give us a round of distorted clips from previous podcasts that we have to guess who said it.
Yes, it's that time again where I have went through the archives and randomly hit shuffle on the podcast feed until I found stuff and things. So I've got 5 distorted clips. All you need to do is tell me who the distorted team member is. We will use the tried and tested system of shouting out confusingly your name, followed by, when I go to you, the answer, which is the name that you think it actually is, which will be even more confusing if it is
Because
yourself.
that went
And
so
hello-
well last time.
Because that went really, really well. Hello to Spock in the background. Okay, are we ready to go?
There is. This game
There he is.
cracks
He's
me
outta
up
here.
every time.
All right.
All
okay.
once.
Let's
Well,
all once.
all the times.
Let's go for clip number 1.
I mean, he's always been odd, he's always been weird, he's always been Gary. Very unique. But Alien? Yeah, I don't know.
Craig, that was you,
Craig.
Chris. Talking about Gary and Legends of Tomorrow.
I mean, he's always been odd, he's always been weird, he's always been Gary. Very unique. But Alien? Yeah, I don't know. Still don't know.
Andrew can verify this.
Yes.
Spoilers for anyone watching very early Legends. It turns out Gary's an alien.
It was the whole time,
Spoiler alert.
honest.
Why not?
Apparently so. Okay, clip number 2.
Yeah, I said a puzzle and rock and fight. Yeah, the gun. I'll go fight the gun for a bit. I'll come back.
What was that?
Space Ghost?
That was the
Craig, was it
question.
Aaron?
Yeah, well,
Incorrect. It was not Aaron.
I couldn't understand the word of that, so I'm going to guess me.
Incorrect. It was not you.
Can I hear
Isaac.
it again?
Isaac.
Oh, Isaac's
I'm going to
guessing.
vote cat. Is it cat?
Incorrect. Cat.
I thought it might have been Isaac.
Correct.
Yeah, I said a puzzle and rock and
Hey.
fight. Yeah, the gun. I'll go fight the gun for a bit and I'll come back.
That's from a
Still don't know
podcast
what
where
I
Craig,
said.
Craig was about to cut to me, and instead of you continuing into that bit, you were going to sit on a polystyrene rock and fight a Gorn from Star Trek. That's what you were going to do. It's from one of the News
Gorn.
Roundup podcasts. Yeah, going to fight a Gorn.
Fair
There you
dues.
go. Okay, this is clip number 3.
Can we have one season without an apocalypse, please? I mean, in Buffy, it was a joke that they dealt with apocalypses once or twice a year. Come at Sunnydale, you have to learn the plural of the word apocalypse, which is weird because there should only be
Natalie.
one because it's the end of the world.
Natalie, who do you think it is?
Craig.
Correct.
Can we have one season without an apocalypse, please? I mean, in Buffy, it was a joke that they dealt with apocalypses once or twice a year. Come to Sunnydale, you have to learn the plural of the word apocalypse, which is weird because there should only be one because it's the end of the world.
Buffy hot take there.
Buffy hot take. That's it. The plural of the word apocalypse. Apocalypse.
What was I talking about? Probably talking about Discovery, right?
You were talking about Discovery and the fact that Discovery was going to be dealing with an apocalypse.
When are they not? Every
Yep.
episode, it's something apocalyptic. Yeah,
Every season, the universe is
you're
ending.
absolutely right. Oh my god.
Okay, clip number 4.
All kinds of weird and wonderful weirdness.
Natalie,
Andrew.
are you just sharing your names?
I think I was in there first.
Meg is just giving permission for Andrew to give an answer.
Correct.
I think Andrew should say
kinds
his
of
answer.
weird and wonderful weirdness.
It was, in fact, Andrew. Weird and
I
wonderful
don't even
weirdness.
remember what that was about.
And you know what? Annoyingly, I didn't write it down. But there was weird and wonderful weirdness involved.
The shape
I
of
might be able to
water.
find the episode that I downloaded it from.
The Flash or Supergirl, I'm going to guess.
Okay, we're going to
Yeah,
go
that makes sense.
fifth clip. This is our final clip. Who is the mystery voice?
So where does this come from? What is this inception that's been planted in my brain?
Isaac.
Isaac, who do you think it is?
I'm going to vote it's Aaron.
Incorrect. It's not Aaron.
Craig.
So where does this come from?
Natalie?
What is this inception that's been planted in my brain?
Craig, incorrect. It is not Natalie.
Natalie.
Natalie, who is it?
Gus.
So where does this come from? What is this inception that's been planted in my brain?
There you go. It was, in fact, Gus. So on that, we end in a tie with no tiebreaker. For Craig has 2, Natalie has 2, Kat has 1.
Do I have
There we
two?
go.
Oh yeah, I do have two.
You do have 2. Well, at least I wrote down that you have 2. Anyway.
I think I forgot I got.
Congratulations. Hang on. Where's the applause? Where's the applause? Where's the applause? Where's the applause? There it is.
Yay.
And the
It was
crowd
great.
go wild.
It was great fun. Any more questions from the gallery, as in the chat?
There are none at this time.
Okay. Let's move on to our final testimonial then. I believe we're back to audio for this one. Our final one is audio. It is from the voice actor that said that I'm a good voice actor. So she's given us something.
Hi there, everybody. This is Daisy Torme. I play your favorite artificial intelligence characters from Superman and Lois and Westworld. And as my Superman and Lois character might say, I just want to take a moment to say congratulations to Craig, Chris, Isaac, Kat, Andrew, Angus, Natalie, and Aaron. Not forgetting, of course, Spock. You have reached a velocity of 200 episodes and deserve all the accolades and enjoyment today to mark the occasion. And let me just say in my own voice that really all of us are so grateful to you guys. You are the creme de la creme when it comes to covering all of these shows and movies, keeping everything relevant, supporting everything with enthusiasm and with research second to none. You guys are more prepared than anyone I've come across, and it's really been a joy getting to speak with you and getting to know you a little bit over the past couple of years. As my Westworld character might say, you are now on your way to 200 more episodes. Please continue creating this wonderful multimedia product. Congratulations again to all of you. Here's to all of you from LA. I am raising a glass of champagne to each of you and all of you. Congratulations.
How come she gets champagne and we don't? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
He's got the champagne. Wow, that was amazing. That
Yeah,
was
that was
incredible.
Yeah, that was
and I
so
feel
awesome.
moved. I'm
That
like,
was awesome.
yeah, we should do 200 more. That was amazing.
Yeah, she was really good. It was really good talking to her. Got to learn a lot about voice acting from her because she's done a lot of it.
Yeah.
Fascinating
that was-
interview.
That was amazing.
Yeah, listen to it. Everybody listen to it. She's
Yeah, I feel like I want to
very
check it out.
and she's the AI on Superman and Lois at the moment. So you can hear her in almost every episode.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
So our final segment, we are going to look ahead because we're possibly going to be doing a few more of these maybe. So what do people want to do over the next 100 episodes and beyond the next 100 episodes? I'm going to start with a couple of features that we haven't quite got off the ground yet. One of them is because of the success of the Power Rangers episode and the Spectacular Spider-Man episode and Pacific Rim for some reason, and for some reason, our talk about the first Suicide Squad movie, can't quite figure that out, but we'll take it. Going to go back and revisit some of the other stuff that might have a cult following. So me and Aaron, we're going to tackle a few episodes of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That'll be our first one that we have a go at, and we'll see what else people are nostalgic about that they want to talk about. The other one is one that we talked about over a year ago now, but we're going to put films on trial. We're still going to do that. We just need to get it all sorted and get it organized. So those are two things that will definitely happen within the next 100 episodes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial one. It's actually, now that you say it, it has been like a year plus that we were like, oh, we should do that.
Let's do 6 of them. We haven't done one yet.
Yeah. No, but definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
Anyone else have anything that they think we should do over the next 100 episodes, except from Bollywood?
I've tried to plan. I've tried to plan the Expanse podcast already. I think I'm fair on my way to that. I think I can almost possibly commit to getting that done within 100 episodes. Maybe
within 100 episodes.
Yes, well, didn't we once promise that we were going to do a musical episode?
Oh no!
That kind of happened because when Kat and I were talking about news one month, I wasn't quite sure what West Side Story was, and she sang a little bit of one of the songs.
Can we get a reprise?
I don't remember which one was it. I forget now.
The one about being in America. That song.
I wanna be in America.
That's what.
Live in America. We laugh in this house with the song. We say that it's the song that our cat sings in her head for some reason. I don't know why. So I always think of my cat when the song comes up. Yeah.
So it kind of happened. It was only a few bars, but it happened.
I still think that we need to do Bollywood. I think we need to get together, and it can be, there's some really great superhero franchises at the moment. So I think that we could all band together and watch Krish and then talk about how many other superhero movies it's ripped off.
It's combining superheroes and musicals into one.
I think that you guys would watch it and be like,
into one 4-hour package.
Look, I don't know why.
Yeah, then we could challenge ourselves to do yet more podcasts longer than the runtime of the films that we're covering.
Or maybe it'd be a first to not be as long as the movie. I don't know, but not all Bollywoods are that long. I would say nowadays a lot of, especially the more action-packed ones, are not that long. So I think Krish is probably 2 hours, and it's probably shorter than one of the Marvel movies for sure. I think that we should do that. And I think we should all see, maybe it could be a thing about superheroes in other countries that are not Marvel, or, it could be something along the lines of that. Could be interesting. If we're going to watch Inframan, maybe we can watch Krish, and talk about that. Or Ra 1, I always think is pretty awesome.
It's actually quite a good film. I quite enjoyed that one.
Right? And the guy's like totally some kind of Iron Man.
True, yeah.
Derek Khan is brilliant. So it's got great songs. Love it. I think we need to broaden the horizons on that. So I'm still gonna keep pushing Craig for that, and I might have to get some proposals actually in place.
So what I'll do is I'll just make you organize it, and then it will just never happen.
well, no. I feel like maybe a bit yes, maybe a bit no. I think that we can make this happen. So
yes. Though the crucial question, though, Natalie, is that since this is your passion project, would you be hosting this one?
Oh God.
Do you know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Make it happen.
Let's do it.
And editing.
I think we'll just do live, no edits, no cuts.
Because that always works out so well, such as
It'll
tonight.
just be it's
Unbridled.
live and yeah,
Yes.
because I actually
Unfiltered.
yeah, I think the podcasts that I listen to the most are the ones that tend to be not unedited, but not
More
over it.
chaotic.
Yeah, more chaotic, more
Yes.
more chit chat in between sections, and that's I quite like that. So I think
Yes,
yeah,
well,
let's do it.
and to quote Lars von Trier's Antichrist, chaos reigns.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Aaron, did you not have an idea of us playing some kind of board game or role-playing game or something that would work on audio?
If you guys want a game of Paranoia, then I am totally up for GMing that.
Yeah. Well, there are actually a couple of podcasts that I listen to, which are basically just people playing role-play games, and they are actually quite fun to listen to.
We could give that a go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't know what it is, but I would be up for it.
Paranoia I pick because it's just very silly from start to finish, and does actually have effectively puns in there too.
Oh
so
well, yes,
it's right on brand.
Sold.
Yes,
Sold.
please. You had me at puns.
Yeah.
Any other ideas people have that they would like to have a go at for over the next 100 episodes?
No,
Angus,
nothing-
don't say more Alien Day
Nothing new.
podcasts, 'cause-
No, I was going to say I'm looking forward to the new format stuff, the movies on trial, and I was just going to shoehorn in Alien Day. That'll continue on. We've got plans for years and years worth of Alien films, so probably taking us into 300s, 400s, 500s, and beyond.
Well, if we're doing, I don't know, passion project hosting ones, I'd like to do a Doctor Who one. I don't know if anyone else wants to join in. Maybe 60th is coming up, or end of a Doctor, or anything really. That'd be lovely. I think also like what we did with the 100th one, where everyone kind of gathered around, and instead of being, everyone just in one room recording, that's a bit difficult because everyone's in different parts of everywhere. But that's always quite lovely. I don't know if you want to, I don't know, can't really record podcasts in a pub. It'd be quite messy.
Well, the original
Quite
plan
loud.
for this podcast, the 200th, was to get a venue somewhere and do a live show with a small audience. And I mean small audience. Chris had his heart set on the Usher Hall, but I don't know if we can quite manage that at this stage. But maybe
Maybe
by
the lobby.
300, maybe the lobby,
Maybe.
we can stand outside.
Yeah, maybe it's a goal
So-
to aim for.
Yeah, so that was the plan for that. But yeah, definitely everyone in the same room type thing again would be great. It doesn't even have to be a milestone. It's just
Yeah.
we've managed to do it. We'll just do it again.
Also, we have something in the chat.
Okay.
Rat Elke says, "Ooh yes, DW themed eps."
Doctor Who.
Support for Doctor
Yeah.
Who, I
Yeah.
guess.
Cool.
We will do a Doctor Who one. We were going to do a Flux one, but we just couldn't make it work time wise. It just didn't happen.
I'm gonna confess something here.
You've never seen Doctor Who?
I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who, and that brings me to maybe a suggestion of something. Kind of like, I'm not into Gogglebox, but what if we could just live stream our responses to first
Oh,
episodes
it's
of
an
things.
audio commentary.
I think we did have an idea for an audio commentary of something.
Back to the
that
Future, it was going to be.
Yeah, that was years
that was-
ago. Yeah. Hmm.
That was around about the time we came up with the trial idea.
I mean, yeah, it could
Yeah.
work.
Good work.
Yeah. Well, and if you want something really chaotic, then I could drop a bunch of painkillers before starting.
Oh God.
Is that not what you do before most podcasts?
Yes. Well, it's why it makes so much sense.
I thought we were all supposed to do that before podcasts. No.
It's so he can listen back to them and feel like he's someone else. Like, I don't remember saying any of this.
Yeah, well, that's most of my life anyway.
Cool. So some ideas there. Any more? Anybody have anything? Kat, do you have any ideas of things you would like to do? Things you would like to cover?
I mean, a lot of the stuff that we cover anyway is up my street. And even if there's like we did Expanse episodes, for example, even though not everybody here watches it, but enough do that we we scrambled together a couple episodes. So I don't know, and that show has ended now, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like specialist interests, I don't know that I'm into anything that crazy outside the remit of what we already kind of do personally.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of struggle right now. We've had ideas for like different kinds of formats and stuff, like outside the trial one. Like there were a couple that we were kind of toying with possibly. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to try a couple of different sub-series, so to speak, and just kind of like do something a little more fun. Not that we don't have fun. It's all that we do around here.
We like to
But
have
just
fun here. Yeah.
yeah, but just like slightly unconventional for us, because like most of what we do is just kind of like discuss and sound off about things, but something perhaps a little more structured, or something a little more like gamified, will be a good time, I think, just to spice things up around here, you know.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, well, and just on the idea of things that people are nostalgic for. One thing I would kind of love to talk about would be gargoyles, because
Oh man,
I'd love to talk
yes.
gargoyles.
like
Yeah.
one of my favorite TV shows from when I was a kid, and it's still one of my favorites because it is absolutely magnificent. Third season notwithstanding, but that's a whole other thing. But
I don't
yeah,
think I've watched it since I was a kid,
Hmm.
but I
It holds
remember
up.
loving it.
It really holds up. Actually, it's quite incredible. Like, just it's some. I think it's something that you can like really enjoy, no matter what age you are, because it is a kids show, but tonally it's very dark, and
Yes, it is. Yeah.
thematically it's kind of quite deep. Well, because a lot like the plots and storylines are inspired by like Shakespeare and Celtic mythology and Arthurian myth and things like that, and I just think there's a lot of material to discuss there, and I think it's something that quite a lot of people are nostalgic about, and could be something that would get a lot of interest.
And
Yeah, sign me up for
someone
that
here may have interviewed the head writer.
That is
Some
also
time
true,
ago.
yes, which was actually a very good listen. And was actually one of the things I noted down to mention about highlights right at the start of the show, but then I realized our segments weren't going to go on that long, so I didn't mention it.
Well, I did. I'm always plugging my own stuff, so there we go. But yeah, I talked to Greg Weisman. The guy's name is. He's great. Actually, I never got around to publishing the chat we had about Spectacular Spider-Man. I should totally do that. I haven't done that yet. I've edited it. I just, for some reason, never bothered to publish it. It happens sometimes. But the good thing is the show got cancelled quite some time ago, so the information is still as relevant as it was the day we talked about it. We didn't discuss today's newspaper or anything like that when we talked about the show, so it'll be as relevant as it was back then. But yeah, that can definitely come under the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes and nostalgia chaser thing, just to see if we can capture interest on stuff, because the Power Rangers one, for some reason, is our top performer month on month. I can't figure out why. Angus seems to think it's a training ground for Russian bots or something, but
I
just
like
think
to
it's
think
because we're so engaged.
exactly. I like to think that all those errant like downloads, there's like 40 people downloading the Pacific Rim episode every month, and I'm like, who are you? Are you listening to the whole 3 hours of me and Craig talking about Pacific Rim? Please talk to us.
let us know.
Somebody
Yeah, make
say
yourself known.
something, because like, oh my god, like every month it's like, oh, and also Pacific Rim. It's like, yes, somebody's out there. That's what I like to think. I like to think that somebody's out there and they're listening and they're like, yes, I too like Pacific Rim, or the original Suicide Squad. Who does? I don't know, but somebody does.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I like to think.
Pacific Rim is a sensory overload of kaiju versus mecha. I mean, how can you not love that?
It's awesome. Oh,
It's got
man.
people fighting with sticks. It's got robots fighting monsters. It's got Idris Elba giving a speech to rival the president from Independence Day. It's got Charlie Hunnam kind of trying to
Being
act.
there.
He's making an attempt.
He's doing his
not
best.
too bad. Yeah, not too bad. It's got
Yeah.
Charlie Day.
It's
He's
got Charlie
great.
Day.
Charlie Day
Yeah.
is great.
Charlie
never seen
Day,
it.
Charlie Day, a double act with Burn Gorman.
Yeah, I mean, what's
Yeah.
not to love? What's not to love?
And then it's got a sequel that's okay.
Yeah, passably
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
But also,
They're very okay.
Yeah, very okay. Completely okay. Perfectly fine. It doesn't sully the first film. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, and it has John Boyega.
It does. Yeah. And Scott Eastwood, who's well on his way to being a spare Clint Eastwood by that point. So yeah, we'll chase some nostalgia stuff because I just want to see what people are interested in. And we'll do that Power Rangers episode again. We'll do another one.
I'm telling you, it
Have to.
has to be through Inframan. That is the gateway.
Well, if that gets you inspired to just
Like,
watch
it's the only way you're going to bring
those
me back.
types of
And
things.
you need me to be that contrarian. So that's
Okay.
that's my terms right there.
Sure. Okay. So if no one has any further ideas of what we could do over the next 100, we should wrap up. So is there any final audience questions or comments that we can shout out?
Last Love went to Doctor Who episodes.
Okay, so there's a
People have
calling for
spoken.
Doctor Who. So, yeah, we'll get a Doctor Who one in. The Regeneration one seems like a good one. We'll try and do that.
Yeah, and around October time, so
Yeah, yeah, and then we'll do the 60th anniversary special, I suppose. Maybe do an episode on the 50th before the 60th, just to round out the content. I don't know. We'll see how time goes. We'll see how time goes. I don't want to commit fully to anything and then just not do it because unfortunately, time ain't on our side most of the time, so it can be a problem.
I don't know.
Okay.
You guys make it work. You magic time, right?
Sometimes we do. Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here. I also want to thank, on a personal, I want to thank all you guys for continuing to contribute to this thing, because otherwise it would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours about Marvel movies, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Maybe someone does, but I would be dubious about them. I'd throw them out an airlock if someone told me they wanted to hear me ramble on for 3 hours without stopping about something. So yeah, thank you all of you for giving up your time and doing the prep work when required and turning up time and time again to do this thing. Chris, special thanks to you for making all the tech work here. It all went off without a hitch.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give yourself
Hang on.
that sound clip that you found.
Where's the
Throw it
Thank you. Thank you.
Wrong button.
Is that Parliament?
Order.
That's as topical as we get here.
I'm gonna throw someone out for telling the truth. I don't know. Topical. So yeah, seriously, guys, thank you very much for continuing to contribute to this and bringing your discussion points with you every time that you appear. It is very much appreciated.
This
Thanks for
definitely
having
isn't here without you, Craig. Thanks for having us on and putting up with all our nonsense and having to listen to our voices multiple times as you edit out our and make us sound way smarter than we actually are.
So for the next 100 episodes, if you could just speak absolutely perfectly on every podcast so I don't have to do any editing, that would be amazing.
No
Give
promise.
that a go.
Challenge
Give that a go.
declined.
I mean, I couldn't rise to that challenge either. But yeah, thank you very much. And we'll do a few more of these. Possibly not as many as...
Congratulations! Honestly, it's been awesome.
We did it!
It's
We
been
did it.
so nice to hear as well that people who are in the industry and are so involved and integral to these shows that you are so dedicated to have recognized this. So I think it's after 10 o'clock. That's fucking amazing.
It's past the watershed, so
Yeah, it's the watershed, exactly.
I think you're allowed one fuck, right?
Edit.
Yeah, edit.
Oh, there's quite a few messages coming in now. I don't know if you're seeing the chat, but quite a few people.
No, I don't have it open. It would be too distracting. That's why I'm relying on someone reading it to me.
Congrats on the 200, and thank you for the fun stream. And Dr. Weather chatting. Who's Dr. Weather?
It's Aaron.
That's Aaron.
Aaron? Aaron's on it.
Don't give away that we're populating our own chat.
Oh.
Aaron just typing in, awesome stream, guys. Best thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, I think it's been wild, and honestly, like every time you send through the stats and everything, I'm just like, there's so much work that I think the whole team does, but obviously Craig, leading the ship. Yeah, like
true.
It's just absolutely wild. I don't know how you do it. Yeah,
I don't know either. I'd rather not think about it. It may all unravel. Yeah, may all unravel if I start thinking about it. But yeah, thanks. And thanks to everybody that has watched along and listened along this evening on Twitch. And if you're listening to this later when the released audio appears, thank you very much for listening to that as well. Thank you very much for supporting us across 200 plus, including the stuff that don't count, episodes. It's been great. So if you want to talk to us, we're always available for chat on, not always, we sleep, but on Twitter and Facebook under Kneel Before Blog. Just type that in, or just leave a comment on kneelbeforeblog.co.uk. I know Aaron's made a lot of friends on his Gotham reviews when they just appear out the woodwork years after the show is finished, talking about an episode of season 1 or something. That seems to weirdly happen. but yeah, that's a bit like that Suicide Squad downloads. Like, why are people still downloading this? It was so long ago. still happening. So there's that. And if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere really, just hit subscribe and you'll continue to get more content. Maybe not exactly like this, but like this. And of course, on Apple Podcasts, we do need ratings and comments. And I'm not going to ask Aaron because he will get angry with me. So I'm going to ask anybody, shout out what number we would like the rating to be.
Out of like any number in the world.
No.
32, please.
Failed.
32.
Can you rate us 32 out of 5?
32 out of 5. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how it works.
Star rating.
Yeah, Spotify also has star ratings now. So
does it? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
If you feel, hit that 5. That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah. 5. What is it the other podcasts say? They say like it doesn't cost anything to do it. It's free.
It is free.
Just
it helps us appear on algorithms.
I
those
might
magical
get like a little
algorithms.
hit of like, I don't know, some dopamine from it. I don't know.
It is. But if also you want to give us money, I think we have a PayPal donation type thing on the website. So you can do that too. Yeah. Give us your money. We pay for this. Craig pays for this himself. So let's give him some money back.
Shout out to Ronan, our most recent donator, if you're listening or watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoever you are, thank you for some money. That covers some of the hosting. So thank you very much. But yes, that has been our 200th episode. So subscribe, comment, enjoy, sit in silence and just listen to Pacific Rim over and over again, and don't tell us why you enjoy it so much, but still enjoy it. Just do what you like. Just engage. Just you do you. So from all of us here, that has been our 200th episode. So we hope to catch you next time on Kneel Before Pod.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.